And welcome back, everyone.
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
I gave Austin the fair warning. How many times did I warn him, guys? I warned him like 3 times at least. I'm like, hey, we're starting, and then here he
I dropped my spoon.
Mute yourself, man.
Yeah. No, but welcome back, everyone, to our campaign, What Is to Become, episode 3. Awesome. When we last left our heroes, they had successfully fended off an attack by some nasty creatures known as grimlocks. These blind, fleshy, blob-like humanoids. At the expense of a lot of structure to the port city of Port Chester. The loss of lives of numerous guards and some of the citizenry. The new guard captain, who earned his position through basically a promotion in rank, as his former leader was posthumously, well, he took his boss's place. The heroes were offered the opportunity to rest and were given a significant reward for their troubles. But they found that there's a little bit more of a connection to this magic stone, which Brielle and Ikko have made contact with. And when we return, you are all still within the barracks of Port Chester's militia. You're still in there. You guys awaken the next morning. You have free reign of the kitchen, and you're allowed to walk around the barracks. They don't mind you walking around the barracks. They don't think you're really going to steal anything, especially since 2 of you are of military rank. They don't figure that you're going to cause any trouble. And surprisingly, at least for Ikko and Kubo, they don't hold any prejudices against kobolds or dragonborn. So you're not seen as like a troublemaker or a pest or anything like that. So they just give you guys the freest of reins amongst their people. So let me get some music going again.
There's a dragonborn here.
I was waiting for it.
I mean, okay, so for reference, Kubo doesn't know he's the dragonborn. He's been raised among kobolds his entire life, but the people see him as a dragonborn. Let's see. Is it playing? Should be.
I hear it.
Perfect.
Oh, yep, there it is.
It starts slow. I keep forgetting it starts slow. So in the morning, Brielle and Ikko, the 2 of you don't have any more shared visions from this stone. There's a lot of it's not, I don't want to call it commotion going on outside, but there's a lot of post-conflict cleanup that a lot of the citizens and the guards are working on. Korfel and Brielle, you 2 have seen this, especially in wartime. Like after maybe like a siege of a city, or after the defense of a city, you see medics running around and some people working towards keeping the peace, rationing out food, that sort of thing. And you see a few of them like running in and out. You see some guards moving in and out of the barracks themselves. it doesn't look like anyone's really taking the opportunity to take a break on their shift because they're trying to bolster the defenses of the town right now. So what are the four of you doing? Are you doing anything in particular this morning? Because you have what your goal is. You're going to head off to try to locate Eudran the Kindled. But you need a means of doing so I didn't know where you guys wanted to start.
So while Korfel has a pretty base knowledge of geography and the map, I'm pretty sure it would be beneficial for him to locate an actual one to carry around if they're going to be going off. He likes to have a good plan in mind, so he's probably trying to get a map from someone.
Okay. They have a few just basic road maps available in the barracks. But if you're wanting something like a little bit more beyond the local area and whatnot, they tell you that you can go to the Capitol building, and not the Capitol building, the government official building, and they can get you a more detailed one. It usually costs like a copper or two to get a copy of one.
Depending on what everyone else is doing, he might just go get that done while they do whatever they need to do.
Okay.
I'd likely stick by Korfel's side.
All right. So Brielle and Korfel, unless Ikko and Kubo are accompanying you, or if they're going to do something completely different, which is fine. I'm just going to assume that, Korfel and Brielle are almost attached at the hip at this point because they've met back up after so long. You head to what appears to be in a better portion of town, one that was kind of untouched by the raid itself. You see clerks and whatnot running about, and a few scholars and sage-like types just milling about. And as you make your way up, it's like, oh yes, this is how can we help you?
I need a detailed map, preferably of the world if you have it, or at least this continent.
The continent? Yes. Well, we've got some of those. Some of the world maps. They're down in the archives. But I'll go ahead and I'll fetch you one. Just stay here. I'll be right back. And the old man scurries off, and 10, 15 minutes he comes back, and he's got one map that's rolled up, and he slides it into a case and says, all right, that'll be 5 copper.
I hand him the 5 copper.
And he hands you the map. Have a good day. Hopefully stay safe out there. And you're given the map.
All right, we have the map. Now what?
Now I suppose, connect with the other two since they want to tag along and come up with a plan.
All right. So while Korfel and Brielle are at the records building, Ikko and Kubo, what are the two of you doing?
Breakfast.
All of the egg.
All of the egg. The barracks kitchen is very well stocked. They've got everything from sausages to like flank steaks, eggs, cheeses, breads of all different types. And again, you guys can help yourselves. The cook that's in the kitchen, there are 3 cooks, and one of them seems to be a little bit faster than the others at getting things cooked. It's like they can boil water a lot faster than some of the others within the kitchen. Which doesn't really seem possible.
So yeah, I think Ikko would probably make herself a plate. Probably in the morning when everyone woke up. She probably would have just let Korfel and Brielle know they were gonna hang out at the barracks whenever they were ready to depart or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, they're probably just getting food, sitting down, eating, waiting for the other 2 to hopefully return and not leave without them.
Okay. So Ikko, I need you to make an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. $21.
That's pretty good. I assume that Ikko has like a satchel or a not a purse, like a coin purse or something like that on them.
Yeah.
Okay. That particular container that you have on your person feels a little bit heavier than normal.
Oh, interesting. She would, recognizing that, kind of investigate, try to figure out what would be causing that.
The stone is in there.
Oh no. Wait, like not the sliver that we found, but like a whole stone?
The sliver of the stone that you 2 had that was in Brielle's possession is now in your possession.
Oh well, this is gonna look bad. Kubo?
What?
Do you know anything about how this stone got in my pouch?
No.
All right, well, I guess I'll just have to give that to them and hope they believe that I didn't take it when they get back.
Wouldn't I have noticed my pocket is a little bit lighter if it's heavy enough for her to notice it in her bag?
Yes. And it's as you're walking back from the records building that you're like, I feel a little bit lighter. And go ahead and make an investigation check there, Brielle.
13.
You notice that the stone is gone.
I'd stop like in place and like pat all my pockets and like dig through my bag and then like look up at Korfel and there'd be like probably a little bit of panic in my eyes knowing like the different sensations and visions I've gotten from the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably be speechless for a minute, just kind of staring at Korfel in subtle horror.
What's the problem?
It's gone.
What's gone?
That stone.
He's gonna grumble, but he's not gonna go into panic. Mostly because he's not experiencing any of this.
You got the feeling though, like after I showed it to you, you had the sensations. You didn't get the visions.
Yeah.
But you also did the magic on it. So like not to say how Korfel would feel, but I feel like
he's still not gonna panic. He's gonna keep a calm head, and you seem make an obvious like, okay, well, there's only 2 people who knew that you had the stone, so logically.
Yeah, Bree would nod and start marching in that direction that we were already going in anyway, but less panic and more angry.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So Korfel and Brielle, you're making your way back to the barracks. Ikko and Kubo, you two are enjoying breakfast with the new realization that the stone that was not in your possession before is now in your possession.
Maybe it's a different stone, and they just lost theirs.
With a high enough
could be.
investigation there, Ikko, you know that this is not a different stone.
No, but she's just gonna kind of go along like, it could be. We'll find out when they get back and see what's going on.
Okay. So do you keep it on yourself?
Yeah, because she definitely wouldn't want to like misplace it or like take it out in the open,
Okay.
in case anyone else. Because like if her and Brielle had a reaction just from encountering it in the first place, she wants to avoid anyone else somehow like perceiving it, so she'll just keep it in her pouch.
Okay. All right. Are the two of you doing anything else besides eating breakfast and waiting for the other two to return?
Not me.
Okay.
No.
All right. The four of you meet back up. Obviously, all still in the barracks. Brielle a little bit lighter and Ikko just a tad bit heavier. What do you guys do?
I'd like to. Can I do an insight check on her as soon as I walk in?
Yeah. Now, what are you trying to insight specifically?
If she looks guilty or looks like
Lust.
either guilty or looks like the opposite, like she's trying not to look guilty. You know what I mean?
Is this
Okay.
some profiling?
No, because it's not because of her race. It's because she's the only one that knows about it and where I keep it, really.
So my question to Ikko then is, are you trying to hide the fact that you have this, or do you?
No.
Okay.
She'd probably still be like a little like anxious about the fact that she has it, but not like guilty or like trying to be like sneaky about it, but she'd probably be a little on edge.
Okay. So Brielle, you pick up anxiousness, you pick up nervousness, but it doesn't seem to be like guilt.
Okay, I'd walk up to her and like just hold my hand out.
She'd reach into the pouch and kind of like grab the stone, but be hesitant to like pull it out in front of people. But she's gonna say, "I know what you think. I don't know how it got here. I was gonna give it to you as soon as you got back, but I didn't want to pull it out in front of a bunch of people. So I will give it back to you as soon as we are out of view of other people."
You already should try these eggs, though.
What?
I said you really should try these eggs, though.
Oh, you know what? I'm
They're
full.
freaking
Thank you.
cute.
I'd drop my hand and just kind of cross my arms and stand there because I want to believe, especially since her and I connected the way we did on the visions and stuff, and like how we kind of shared that I want to see the good and believe that she wouldn't do that on purpose, especially since I saw that she's just anxious and didn't look guilty per se. So I'm giving her like the benefit of the doubt.
Korfel's gonna put like a hand on her shoulder, pat her, and say, let's get a bite to eat before we head out. And like just steer her to sit down.
Okay.
I'd begrudgingly let him.
Okay. So Brielle, you're sat down at the table. Again, plenty of food to be had. They've got juice, they've got milk, they've got coffee. You know, a lot of the guards have been going through coffee like crazy. Most of them have been pulling all-nighters and things like that. They've got water also. A lot of times they give the water to people who are locked up in the jail. But you guys are given a fair breakfast. Again, you're given free reign of the kitchen. And after you eat,
Coffee, you say?
yeah, coffee. You want some coffee? They'll give you some coffee. Has Kubo ever had coffee before?
What could go wrong?
I leave that up to you, Kubo, if you've ever had coffee before.
Nope.
Okay. They bring you out a steaming hot cup of coffee.
Korfel gets some.
So does Bree.
They basically leave the
Carafe.
container. Yeah, they leave that. And then leave some cups for you guys. So Kubo, since you've never had coffee before, go ahead and make me a Constitution save really quick.
Do it.
DC is 10.
Meanwhile, Korfel nudges Bree and pours both him and her a cup, and just like,
I'll be good.
Okay, no, you aren't super jittery or anything like that. It does have a bit of like an earthy, like they might have roasted the beans a little too long, but it still tastes good. It still tastes good. It's very bitter though. It's very bitter. Without adding like any like cream or sugar or anything like that.
This almost tastes like the swamp.
It's an acquired taste, I've been told. You could add a little bit of milk and sugar to it. That usually helps.
There's a small bowl filled with like some half broken sugar cubes on it.
Did you say you'd have to get another one already?
Yeah, I need to get another one.
Oh, no, that's okay. You should probably just stick to one, just in case.
You pour yourself a second cup.
No.
Okay. Go ahead and make one more con save. Okay, you're still fine. You seem to be able to take the coffee very well. You probably don't want more than 2 cups though.
But with the sugar, it was so much better.
Yeah, it is better.
So I'm gonna have another one.
Okay. He's going through cups of coffee. Meanwhile, what are Ikko and Korfel and Brielle doing? You're watching Kubo like down these cups of coffee, like they're still piping hot, and he's just throwing them back.
Well, when he tries to pour the third one, once like the glass is full, she's gonna smack his hand and try to take the cup from him.
The coffee like visibly calms Bree down, and I think she's amused by what's happening between Ikko and Kubo a bit. So I think all of that's kind of helping, even though she's still clearly pretty irked.
Mm-hmm.
If she smacks his hand, he's gonna like reel back, just kind of like spooked.
Whimper and pout like a puppy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ikko, roll me a d20. Roll me a d20 for you smacking his hand. Don't roll a 1. Okay.
16.
You smack his hand, and as he gets the third cup, like, because I saw that he made a third Constitution save.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming like he got like most of it down, but then you notice that he's just a little bit jittery now after 3 back-to-back cups of coffee. You managed to smack his hand and kind of get him to stop. He does reel a little bit as you smack him, but you stop him from fully imbibing a third or possibly a 4th cup. Kubo, at that 3rd cup, you're like, yeah, you're feeling it. You could probably vibrate through walls.
Oh, Jittery, how about you?
Oh, this is gonna be a long day.
You wait till he crashes later.
Ikko, where are we going? Ikko, have you tried this? Have you tried this stuff? Add the sugar, or milk. Have you tried this? Ikko.
Kubo.
Yes.
Hush. Eat some more eggs.
Okay, good idea.
So what are we doing?
Baking.
We need to find the Eudran.
Obviously. But are we walking? Are we going to try and find horses?
I'm sure my family has horses we can borrow, but it is a bit of a walk to get there.
Should we check around town first?
We can, but I do believe the port is going to need everything that they have to repair.
That's fair. All right, then. I think that after we finish eating, we should just get on the road.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Great.
So after breakfast, you gather up your things, your personal effects. You make sure that you bring your armor and your weapons, so you are not unarmed for
funny.
the journey ahead. And you set out. Let's get that scene changed.
Once we are out of sight of people, I'll put my hand out to Ikko again.
She'll hand over the stone.
Okay. Ikko hands over the stone to Brielle.
Do you hear ringing? I hear ringing. My ears are ringing.
Stop sticking your fingers in them.
My teeth feel fuzzy.
Oh no. I told you not to drink that third cup of
Look at
coffee.
this bounce. I can cut the floor much faster now.
How did you get it?
I don't know. I was just sitting at breakfast and my pouch felt a little strange, and when I looked in there, it was there.
DM question.
Yes.
Did it like what she just said, she was sitting there and suddenly it felt heavier. Like, did she just notice it felt heavier, or did it literally just she was not as heavy and then bloop, all of a sudden while she's standing there it gets heavier?
She just happened to notice. Like, it's one of those things where if you've ever misplaced your wallet or your phone and you've had it in your pocket and you kind of like pat yourself down and it's already in your pocket, but you just kind of gotten used to the weight, so you don't notice it immediately. Mm-hmm. It's like that. It's like you didn't notice it immediately because you were used to the weight before, but the absence of the weight, you noticed it immediately, the absence of the weight. Okay. And Ikko just kind of, it's like, wow, this pouch feels just a little bit heavier. Maybe it was from the coin that you guys split up from the night before, but it obviously wasn't. It was a more noticeable differential in weight for her. Okay. Mainly because she's so small.
I think I'd keep my hand on it in my pocket and try and figure out what happened or how that happened. Like, I would just ponder over it.
Okay. So you're going to ponder over the stone itself.
Ponder over the stone.
You're not sure. It's kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember because I'm a little shaky on the memory itself of who had identified the type of magics. I think, was it Korfel?
That was me.
Okay.
Korfel. Yeah.
So the various magics that you felt, again, it radiates every form of magic. So, Korfel might understand what's kind of going on with it, or might understand what's going on with it. And having Korfel identify it from before, Brielle, you would know that it's like, well, he knows what kinds of magics are on this, but he's not necessarily like schooled in all those forms of magic to know exactly what could cause that.
Right. I think I would just kind of be lost in thought about it because it bothers me. Like the whole thing bothers me. Like I think that like typically I feel like Brielle tries to be a pretty logical person.
Uh-huh.
But everything about this stone has been extremely illogical from the second we saw it or heard about it and everything that's happened. So I think it's just a matter of she's feeling confused and overwhelmed and like between the visions and like just the sensations from this stone and like the journey they're about to go on. Like the entire world's been flipped upside down. And so I think she would just kind of be focused on the path ahead, lost in thought, like holding the stone in her pocket, trying to maybe get another vision from it or just trying to understand it, even though it's like not something she can understand or there's anything that she can do about it, but just kind of overwhelmed with everything.
Okay. You are trying to commune with it though, at least in a sense, to kind of understand it, even if you're kind of just absently doing it and just kind of like thinking like
what are you? Where are you from? Why is this happening?
As you do so, make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Super awesome. That's actually something I'm good at. Let's see if it rolls okay. No, that's a 10. I have a +5 and I got a 10. Cool.
As you're thinking about it, you start at first you think that there's someone behind you because the whisper is so close, but you start hearing like faint whispers in your ears. At first, like I said, you think it's just someone who's behind you whispering into one of your ears, but then the whispers are in both ears. And then it's almost as if they're whispering directly to you, but unfortunately, you're not able to make out what exactly is being said. It is just like a small chorus of whispers of varying tones, like deeper tones, lighter tones, and they all just kind of meld together, and you're not able to make out any of the words.
Okay, so I'm a cleric, and I can semi kind of commune with my god and stuff. Not that he whispers in my ear or anything like that. But
this is different.
I imagine it's different, but do I feel like, can I do like an insight to see if it's like threatening or negative or anything? I can't make out what it's saying, but like a tone or anything like that to it.
You may. I will allow you an insight check. It will be very, very high.
18.
That is not high enough.
Okay.
Good roll though.
Very good
Thanks,
roll.
Ed.
Very good roll. It's close, but it's not high enough. You can't determine if they're threatening or not. You just, as you try to focus in on it and determine the nature of these whispers, almost as soon as they began, they stop, and it's like an abrupt, like you've been cut off from all communication between it. Almost as if it knew that you were trying to discern its nature.
Yeah. I think I would just walk. I'm like walking at pace with Korfel, and I'd like nudge him with my arm to get his attention. Take this. And I'll hold the stone out to him, wrapped in a little kerchief or handkerchief.
I'll take it, but with a very confused look on my face.
All right, Korfel, you touch the stone?
I touch the stone.
Okay. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Sorry, bro.
Thanks. Wonderful.
You burn me, I'll burn.
Korfel, you immediately begin to hear these whispers, and it's almost as soon as your hand touches the stone, there is another flash of memory, and it's almost again the same shared memory that Ikko and Brielle had. And let's see. I'm typing something.
Whispers.
Done. Done. Done.
Do I have more fingers than usual? Hi, how are you?
Well, hold them out. Let me look. And then she'll just like slowly start counting each of his fingers.
Mm,
9.
Korfel puts
Ten.
the stone in one of his pouches.
Okay.
Would I have sensed that he saw or felt or heard anything?
Nope.
My thought process would have been that as soon as he started hearing or seeing something, he would have tensed or something.
Nope.
The only reaction you see from Korfel is he holds it, looks down at it, blinks, and then pockets it.
All right. Well, since when I first handed it to you, you seemed confused as to why I was handing it to you, I think I would at least acknowledge that. And there's something wrong with it.
We'll get answers.
It's
What
like
are we
the
doing
One
with the
Ring,
rock?
We gotta trade it.
Rock's a weird
We
word.
gotta take
Rock,
turns sharing.
rock, 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 rock. Let's just bring rock and stone. Could it be a stone? What about a scone? I like scones. Where are we going? Wait, where are we again? Hi, how are you?
All right. DM question.
Yes.
I have experience with herbs and plants. Would I know of a downer?
You are
Caffeine?
experienced with herbs and plants. You can make a knowledge nature check to or a medicine check. You can make a knowledge nature or a medicine check to determine if you can locate a natural downer remedy.
I'm gonna go medicine.
I say we drown him.
you
All right, that's a 23.
I don't have
Okay.
one.
23.
So you know that there are herbal remedies like lavender and
Chamomile.
ashwagandha, kava, things like that.
I'd probably have chamomile on me, I would think.
Yeah,
Something like a tea.
So you yourself have the following herbal things in among your person. You've got lavender, you've got chamomile, you even have some passion flower. So if you were to mix all of that into like a tea, or have him just kind of like you meld it up and ground it up into a paste, and it's like, here, just eat this.
Like this.
I don't think I'm gonna be that nice. I think I'm gonna stop, turn around, pull the herbs out, open his mouth, and chew.
It tastes like Ikko's smelly liquid.
My what?
Chew and swallow.
Ikko's gonna look up at Brielle. What did you just give him?
It'll calm him down.
Meanwhile, Korfel is massaging his temple. Just like, what the fuck is happening?
She's gonna like breathe a thankful sigh.
I turn and keep pace with Korfel again. Fucking insane. It reminds me of those twins. Do you remember those twins?
It's been a minute, but yes.
Hated them.
Sorry, he's never had coffee before.
All
I
right,
feel
so
like we've adopted children.
I need Kubo to make another Constitution save for me, please, because I don't think he's used to eating like herbs raw like
Raw.
this.
It's like
Just raw, like it's literally like raw.
I'm a
herb.
cleric.
Raw
I know what I'm
dogging
doing.
Flowers.
He's raw dogging lavender over here.
oh no.
I'm a cleric. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I just rolled a 1 on that.
That just means it worked really well, and now you're
So,
like falling asleep.
no, you
I don't know.
jam it in there. You tell him to chew, and without being kind enough to like at least steep the remedy out of the herbs themselves,
Yeah.
the combination is enough to make Kubo sick.
Oh shit.
Kubo, you expunge, and it's breakfast
Well, at
is
least the
gone.
coffee's gone now.
Breakfast is gone. Coffee's gone. It worked, but you don't feel well. That's a bad time.
Brielle definitely kind of looks guilty and feels like shit about it.
Korfel absolutely just kept walking and did not stop even for a second.
I didn't say I stopped. I just said I looked guilty. I just kind of like grimace as we keep walking, like, oh shit.
At least it didn't take like 3 minutes to throw up like a dog.
He's just over there dry heaving.
Oh, no. Yeah, Kubo is just having a bad time again without having the remedy steeped directly out of the herbs, which probably would have been a quicker solution. Outside of this natural one being the quicker solution.
I can't. I'd have to make a fire and boil water and.
Ikko's probably just kind of like patting him on the hip as he's throwing up. Like, it's okay, get it all out. You're gonna feel better. Now, what did you learn?
I learned she's mean.
Well, we already knew that, but about the coffee.
Meanwhile, from however many feet I've walked while they're back there, Korfel goes, he's not wrong.
I slug him in the arm.
Ikko would laugh.
Okay. Well, as Kubo recovers and you guys begin your trek, are you leaving Port Chester, or are you doing anything else in Port Chester? That is my question to the four of you.
Korfel doesn't really have any other focus right now.
No, I think we already stocked up on supplies at the barracks when they let us kind of raid their kitchens and stuff. We have our gold. We have our stuff. I don't think there's anything left in Port Chester. I think I might keep my eyes open to see if, like, on the way out, we see any opportunity to get a cart or a horse or anything like that that could be beneficial for all of us. Like, if there's only like one, I'm not going to be interested. But if there's like anything I can spot on the way out of town that might be beneficial for us, I might keep my eye out for that. But
okay, you've got a high enough passive perception, don't you, Brielle?
15, I think.
Yeah. So you're keeping an eye out for like maybe modes of transport and things like that. And while a lot of the locals and some of the guards are trying to gather up any and all viable horses and things like that, you see this gnome and dwarvish couple. They're bickering on the side of the street, and you see that they've got this cart that's been damaged. It looks like it's still usable, but it's seen some wear. It probably with a little bit of TLC, it could be fixed up. And you see, like, standing off to the side is like this. Well, it looks like a clockwork goat about the size of a donkey. And it too looks damaged.
I think I'd just point that out because it looks interesting, but I don't think I'd consider it a viable option considering we're kind of in a hurry. But I'd nudge Korfel and be like, look at that.
He seems distracted.
Can I do an insight check on his distractedness?
You can.
$17.
Korfel, what's got you distracted, man?
He just seems deep in thought. Like his focus is more internally than externally at this point in time.
As you're trying to focus on all that, Brielle, you overhear the couple they're arguing, saying that well, we can't sell it. No one's gonna buy it. Well, it won't hitch up anymore. The barding's all wrong. Look, it's broken. And the dwarven man slaps the side of the goat, and the goat kind of like rattles. And the gnomish woman, she's pointing her finger like right in his nose and says, I told you it was a bad idea to come here during this season. I told you, and you didn't listen. And they're just back and forth.
Like, Jessica really wants to go and investigate, but I don't think Bree would. So
You can do whatever you want.
Austin's very curious, but Korfel's like, nah.
exactly. Like, Bree and Korfel are like, well, okay. But we're like, well, yeah, I wanna. Ikko, Kubo. You're easily distracted and amused.
What of you two? Do the thing we want to do.
That's your personality, not ours.
Well, Kubo, do
So
you do
funny.
anything now that you've recovered from the puking?
He's dead.
Kubo's not dead. Kubo, are you dead?
Just upset.
So what was it that was like particularly interesting about the goat? I was taking a note. Like, why was Brielle so interested in it, even though she didn't think it was a viable option for us?
I mean, I think Brielle would be like, oh wow, a mechanical goat. That's
It's a
interesting.
mechanical goat. Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's a clockwork goat.
mechanical. Steampunk goat.
Yeah, it's a steampunk
Oh.
goat about the size of a donkey.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ikko would actually be pretty interested in that. And be like, hey, hold up, that's really cool. I want to go look at it. 1 second, I'll catch up. And then if they want to follow, of course they can.
Korfel would slow down because he's not going to abandon anybody.
That gives Bree opportunity to be looking at him and like tapping his forehead. What you thinking about?
No, nothing.
Don't fucking give me that.
So Brielle's kind of lightly grilling Korfel. Ikko, you go to approach and you see that the gnome woman, she kind of like spins on her heel, almost like if you've ever seen a cuckoo clock and there's like a little like a marching soldier or something like that, and how quickly they turn before they go back into the clock. That's kind of what this woman does. She does like this quick turn, and she's like,
Pivot.
yeah, it's a super pivot. It's a super fast and very sharp pivot. But
Sorry,
pivot,
sorry,
pivot,
I just did a flashback.
pivot. She pivots and she looks at you really quickly. It's like, what do you need, dearie?
But I've never seen anything like this before. Did you guys build this?
Well, I did. And she looks at her husband and she like nudges him really, really hard. And he's like, ow. He's like, well, no, we worked on it together. We did this together. We made it. And well, it's, and the goat just kind of like rattles on its own. And you hear that there's like some stuff that's loose in there. But those damn things attacked, and now it barely goes. And she's like, no, it will go, but it's not going to take us home.
How far will it go? do you think?
Well, how far are you wanting to go? It can handle a steady road, but it's not going to traverse the mountains anytime soon.
I mean, if you have no use for it, I'll take it off your hands and take it as far as it'll carry us.
Well, honey, we're not just going to give this away. The husband just kind of like he pinches his wife on the elbow. He's like, hold on. Now, there's a lot that went into this. Obviously, it's not a normal horse or anything like that. But I mean, if you're wanting to buy it, I mean, we have to be able to make our way back home somehow.
Sorry, my mom came in. Yeah, no, of course, I don't expect you just to give it to me. What do you think would be a fair price for it, especially considering it's a little defective and could break down in 10 minutes?
Go ahead and make a what kind of check do I want you to make on this one?
Persuasion?
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Oh no, not persuasion. 18.
18, okay.
TAP.
And she's like, it's not going to break down in 10 minutes. And she gets another pinch from her husband. He's like, oh. He's like, oh no, not 10 minutes at least, but last you at least a day, probably, maybe 2, maybe a week. Who knows? He's like, well, what do you think is a fair price, dear? And you see him, like, he kind of puts his hands in front of him. He's not wringing his hands like a greedy miser, but he's just kind of like squeezing his hands together, like in the hopes of possibly getting someone interested in this product, this thing of his, this creation of his and his wife's.
So Korfel would like to chime in at this point in time.
Okay.
If you created it, can you fix it? And if so, then can we buy it?
And the wife's like, of course I can fix it. I just don't have all the parts or tools needed. It won't be like a perfect fix, but I can fix something on it. I just need a little bit more iron.
And how long would that take?
Another day, maybe. If I can get the iron like now, and I can fix it. But if I could fix it, I might as well just keep it.
Right. We don't have the time to wait anyway.
Come on, Nico.
I'll take it as is.
Okay. What do you give them? Like what are you offering them with an 18 persuasion?
I don't even know where to start. Like I don't know how economy works in like what something
Well,
like
I bought
this
a continental map for 5 copper.
All right, we'll start with 2 gold.
2 gold. And they look to one another, and the husband kind of looks offended, but he's like, well, and he kind of hem-haws around on it for a moment, and he says, look, and he kind of places a hand on your shoulder, Ikko, and kind of guides you away from his wife. like he's the one to be dealing with here. And he's like, look, a lot of love has gone into to making this, and if you're serious about buying it, you can have the goat and the cart. 75.
Oh my god. Sorry, I thought I was muted.
All right, yeah, I grossly misunderestimated that. I do not have that much. She would kind of probably keep sort of a a stoic face that they offer, and then apologize for offering such a low amount. Like, I'm not super familiar with this sort of technology and the work that goes into it. So, I'm sorry for offering such a low price. Let me think about it for just a minute, and then she'd probably kind of pull back to the group and quietly inform them of what he proposed and see if they want to like pitch in, but still kind of probably haggle, but see if we want to share funds to try to get it for like, I don't know, like maybe 50. Like that could be the proposed offer.
Okay. Yeah, you can go do that. And Brielle and Korfel, the two of you know that war horses are roughly around 400 gold.
Mm-hmm.
From being in war, like when they had to requisition things.
What about a standard riding horse?
A standard riding horse? Well, you're both elven. You've ridden horses before. Standard riding horse is about 75.
My family literally has horses. So Korfel's like, let's just, like, this isn't worth it. Like, we can get what we need from my family.
Would we be able to, like, how much faster would it get us there to Korfel's family estate if we were to have this cart? Like, how much faster would it get us there?
I mean, it would be a more comfortable ride, and you wouldn't necessarily be like having your time, but you would take it down by at least a quarter each day. So, and
we'd be able to multitask, is what you mean by having our time?
Yes, you'd be able to multitask because the cart itself can hold 2 people in the seat and then 2 people in the back. And it wouldn't put a lot of wear and tear on you guys. You wouldn't be exhausted after walking for so long. I mean, yeah, it's still tiring to sit down for that long, but
because at minimum, and he'll say this to Brielle and Ikko, at minimum, if the cart's in good shape, that's one less thing we have to take from my family, and we can borrow a horse from them, since this goat clearly is damaged. So he wants to take a look at the cart and make sure that it's in like roadworthy and like can last a while.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it's just getting them to hit the estate, it's not really worth the coin.
Let me ask you something then, Korfel. Are you proficient with land vehicles?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so then you can attempt a check to determine if this is a viable vehicle. So I will have you roll a d20 plus your proficiency bonus.
Guidance?
Because
my
you can give him guidance.
Proficiency bonus where?
Proficiency bonus is above your initiative.
At this level, it should be a +2.
Oh, sorry. I was like, where?
You're good.
Sorry, I don't think I've ever looked at that ever.
It usually okay, so on D&D Beyond, it usually gets added in to everything, so you never have to look at that number because it auto does that for you.
Yeah,
but,
that's what the prof is next to the...
Yeah.
11.
11. The
plus
card...
guidance.
Yeah, plus guidance.
Oh.
D4.
Which is, you roll a D4.
Yeah. 12. I thought I got all my low rolls out before, so clearly I was mistaken.
Slaps roof of cart. You can fit so much spaghetti in this thing.
You slap the cart and the wheel falls off. No, so, I mean, you're proficient with land vehicles. You've seen worse carts. And for as far as you need to go, you're confident it will get you to where you need to go if you take it. And once you get it there, you could get it repaired. You could get it repaired probably very, very cheap, especially if you're going to your family's estate. Not
I'll
mandatory.
give you 45 for it.
45, and he looks back and forth to his wife, and she's like 50.
Deal, and he puts his hand out.
And she like her husband goes to shake your hand and she slaps his hand away and she shakes your hand instead.
He offers a mischievous fucking wink because he is that guy, and hands her the 50 gold.
Okay.
But he like clearly looks at Ikko that she owes him for this.
She immediately pays him 15 gold. And then nudges Kubo to do the same.
Huh? What?
Hey, I need 15 gold.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Of course. But, is the person in the thing gonna get out?
In the goat?
Yes.
There's no person in there.
How is it? Yeah, right.
Magic.
Obviously, someone's inside of there. I wasn't
It's-
born yesterday.
It's magic.
Yeah, it's magic.
So
Can we rewind just a little bit too while Ikko was approaching and engaging in that conversation before Korfel stepped in because I was grilling him.
yeah.
So after I poke his head and he says nothing, I'm gonna look at him very intensely. Kor, what's going on?
B. Nothing. Honest.
Swear to God.
He like narrows his eyes at her, like, try me, bitch.
I'll narrow my eyes back and be like, "Do you want to fight?" Like, what are you hiding? I'm not stupid. I'm
This
not gonna
wasn't
lie.
what I expected when I came to port. Let's just leave it at that and get on with our day.
I'm contemplating using command, and I don't know if that would work, but I'm like contemplating using it.
I mean,
It wouldn't necessarily work, but
yeah, he would have to make a saving throw, and then even if he did, It-
I have zone of truth. Again, he'd have to make a saving throw though, and I'm pretty sure Core would get really mad at me if I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
I'm gonna let you keep it to yourself for now, but if you do not talk to me, we're gonna have fucking problems. And probably at that moment is when he used the escape route to.
Yeah, like it's at that point he sees
And on that
Ikko.
note-
He sees Ikko talking to the couple,
He's
and
like,
then
"Oh look, I have
like, "Oh,
something
look."
I can do."
and la di da di da. He just saunters
Exactly.
over. All right.
Exactly, just like that. Okay, and I'm grouchy again. Although
So-
I have constant resting bitch face anyway, so it's fine.
So the deal has been brokered, and the dwarven man he shows you, Korfel, like basically how the goat works. He's like, it responds just the way just the way a horse would. You hitch it up, and as soon as you hitch it up, you tell it to go and it goes, you tell it to stop and it stops. It's a good listener, just a little shaky.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
And he go ahead.
Out of character real quick though, I want to sort out the money exchange thing. I don't want to just like force Catan to give me 15 gold, so I want to make sure he's okay with that, and if not, then she's not going to take his money.
No, I already did.
Oh, okay, so I also give that to Korfel, so I gave him 30 total.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it. I've already sorted it out on my end.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Resume.
So as the deal's being brokered, the gnome woman takes her little tools that she has, and she tries to do a little makeshift a little fix on the saddle and the barding itself, so that way it can still lash to the cart properly. It's like she's getting like some cotter keys and like hammering them in place to hold it, and she tests it, and as she rattles it, the goat just kind of goes, and eventually it's set and ready to go. It's enough to get you from one place to another for a short time, unless you choose to get it fixed. You do know that there are like steam smiths and cogsmiths around in various cities. Not necessarily here, because this is a port. They don't tend to get a lot of that here. Everything out this way is like ships, but yeah, you could get it fixed, or you could just sell it when you get to wherever. It's up to you. But it's good enough to get you from one place to another.
Sweet.
Korfel is gonna climb up into the front seat.
I'll obviously
And
climb
be
next
like,
to him.
all right, load up.
And it's a bench seat, so it's a compartmentalized bench seat, so you can actually lift up the seat itself, and there's storage there. You see the dwarven man. He's climbing into the back of the cart, and he's kind of like offloading just a few personal effects of his. And once it's all unloaded, he says, "Well, Godspeed, kids."
Thank you. Take care.
"Thank you." And he waves, and he has to nudge his wife, and she waves too. And then they just kind of like look at one another, and they kind of like let out a sigh, like they gave something away.
So I think Ikko would probably speak up like, hey, now that we have a cart, do we want to stock up on some additional provisions, or do you think we're good with what we've got for now?
I think we have enough.
Okay, cool. Probably last longer if we don't overweight it anyway.
Magic goat.
We shouldn't have to go too far, and we can stock up at my estate.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell the goat to go.
And the
See,
goat,
look at that, Kubo. Magic.
you tell the goat to go, and then it rattles a little bit, and then its feet start like stamping in place really quick, and then it starts to take off, and it's like a quick lurch, and you like kind of lurch back in the cart for a moment, because you're taken back by how quickly it takes off just at once. But then once it gets to a steady speed, it just keeps going.
Ikko nearly falls out of the cart and grabs onto the back of it and climbs back in.
Give me 1 second, I'm typing something. Continue role playing.
I think I'd take the opportunity to keep pestering Korfel.
Of course you do.
Yeah. So, am I gonna have to be really annoying, or are you going to talk to me?
I'm going to have to be. You ever stopped?
I could be more annoying, and you know it.
Well, you're not lying.
Hmm.
And he's like, he's got his arms crossed, and he's like, he's being a little bit petulant. So, you know.
And
this is going
so-
great.
So Ikko missed the whole first part of the conversation, but now that they're in such close proximity, she's definitely going to be listening and trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Okay, Ikko is actively dropping eaves.
Yeah.
And again, unless they are trying to be quiet, I said this last time, unless they are trying to be quiet and keep you from hearing, you're going to end up hearing all of this, because you just have that keen of perception.
Korfel's not worried about it.
Yeah, I kind of assumed they weren't trying to be sneaky about it, but she's definitely curious and paying attention.
Earlier, I almost like shouted out, "Oh, she said a swear."
There's plenty more where that came from. Quit quit pouting and talk to me.
I'm not pouting.
I'll pinch his bottom lip that is likely sticking out because he's pouting.
He's gonna smack her hand away. Knock it off.
Then quit pouting and talk to me.
Well, I should have left you back at port.
Oh, yeah? So I just get off now then. And you can keep Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Hey,
Which
Don't
one am
act
I?
like it's not true.
that was uncalled for.
Very much so.
Yeah, don't call Ikko Tweedledum.
Ugh.
Who said you're supposed to be listening anyway? Mind your own business.
You're talking loud and I'm right here. Unless you have some cotton you want me to stuff in my ears.
I'll pull out cotton and hand it to her.
If you're not careful,
Just
she
gonna
might
glare.
shove herbs in your face.
I have other herbs that do other things as well.
Remind me never to eat anything you cook.
Oh, I'm a good cook.
That's a given anyway.
Rude. I cook better than you.
Do you? Are you sure about that?
Quite sure.
Who cooks better, DM?
Wait, wait, you gotta ask me. Each of you everyone roll a D100.
Are we about to have a Shokugeki arc?
Everyone roll a D100.
I'm good at medicine and nature. I should be pretty good at cooking, I think.
That's not what I asked.
I know, I'm working on
Oh,
it.
shit.
I'm working on it.
Oh shit! Everybody cooks better than me.
Kubo cooks better than you, but that's because Kubo's a foodie. Like Kubo's canonically a foodie.
Let's
So,
Son of a bitch.
so out of Brielle and Korfel, Brielle is the better cook because of her knowledge of nature. She just knows what herbs to kind of add to things.
Look, you're a spoiled rich kid, and I'm an elf who grew up in frickin' the forest. I had to know how to cook or I'd die. So there.
Fine.
So
Tell me again how, you know what? When we make camp later, we can have a little contest. How about that?
Fair enough. It's on.
All right. Watch out.
Wait, what are we contesting?
Who's a better cook, obviously.
Oh, okay.
when you get the opportunity to like sit down and make a meal.
Yeah.
But the four of you head out along the battered road, an ancient and well-worn path of packed dirt and fractured stone that winds westward towards the distant town of Sorrderis. The road is named for the scars of countless wagon wheels, hooves, and heavy, weary footsteps that stretches like a weathered ribbon through the rolling hills and sun-bleached fields. Carved by the ceaseless march of travelers, traders, and mercenaries alike. Along the road, there are deep ruts and potholes that mark its surface, remnants of years of storm-tossed erosion and the relentless weight of caravan-laden wagons. Jagged stones poke through the earth, worn smooth in places by centuries of passage, while clusters of dry grass and stubborn weeds claw at the edges, creeping ever inward. Here and there, the remnants of long-forgotten milestones, cracked, moss-covered, and leaning, offer whispers of a time when the road was young, when the Empire still sought to claim it as their own. The air hums with the distant chirr of cicadas, the occasional caw of a crow perched atop a twisted fence post, watching with beady eyes as travelers make their way west. To the south, the land dips into a low valley, where thin plumes of chimney smoke rise from scattered farmsteads, their wooden fences struggling against time and neglect. To the north, weather-beaten hills roll gently toward the horizon, their wind-swept tops dotted with skeletal remains of old watchtowers, long since abandoned. As dusk creeps in, the battered road takes on an eerie stillness. The wind sighs through the dry grass, carrying with it the scent of distant rain, and the shadows stretch long across the road, silent and watchful. Sorrderis awaits at your journey's end, its silhouette barely a thought in your memory. So, as the four of you travel, it is a 2-day journey to Sorrderis. And I'm going to ask, let's see, I need everyone to roll me a d4, please.
Pyramid, go. Oh dear.
Okay. Kubo. I need you to roll me a d12, please. This is going to determine your random encounter.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Hey, the good news is I have my armor and stuff this time, guys.
This is true.
I really should maximize this window.
All right. So, you guys settle in for your first night. You find a small, off-road little site where it looks like travelers tend to camp every now and again. You see, a few little patches of, where campfires would be. And, obviously the trees themselves have been kind of like pushed back by the natural wear of these little not settlements, but little sit-in spots. Think of it as like a drive-in without the entertainment. So it's kind of set off to the side of the road. You guys settle in for your first night. And I believe Korfel and Brielle would have the opportunity to to show off their skills. There are a few others that are kind of settled into various points in this little park and ride type deal. But they don't really pay you guys any mind. They acknowledge you with like a wave. But not much than that. Again, other travelers either leaving Port Chester or heading towards. Of course, you don't know unless you ask them. You're not obligated to interact with them at any point, but you're able to sit in and have a decent night amongst yourselves. So what do you do?
I take
Well
it we've
set
been
up.
traveling for like a long time, right? Like it's dark out now.
Yes, you've been traveling for at least 8 hours. You left around mid morning. You've traveled for about 8 hours, probably about as far as you could go, without like adding more wear to the goat, the cart, or yourselves. Standard traveling day is about 8 hours, so you're about halfway through your journey. You've traveled about 24-ish miles.
Okay. I think Ikko would probably just hop out of the cart and just kind of start prepping camp.
Brielle would probably do the same. Start like collecting firewood.
Okay.
Korfel would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
So Korfel would walk a bit further out to just kind of take a look at the area and make sure he felt it was safe. Make sure there's nothing that could pose any kind of threat to them.
Okay. And what would Kubo be doing? And then I'll go to each of you one at a time once I determine what you guys are doing.
They're running in their car for hours. I'm kind of stretched.
Yeah. Okay.
But then help Ikko with whatever.
All right. Well, I'll start with Korfel and I'll work my way back then, since Ikko's kind of like going to prep camp and Brielle's going to go get firewood. So Korfel, you're trying to determine if it's safe. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yep, those are trees.
You're taking a look, and you're kind of casting your eyes towards the road. As a soldier, roads mean a means of travel for people, whether it's friend, foe, things of that sort. You've traveled this road before, but you're not seeing the usual guards that kind of man the road between the mile markers. Usually they're every mile, maybe every couple of miles, there's like a small guard post, which is just like a small one-person shack where guards patrol up and down the road. You know, they do that for hours on end and trade out, but you're not seeing the guard during your time here. So as Brielle and Ikko and Kubo are getting things ready, you're not seeing the guard pacing the road, and you're convinced that they're either held up with something, probably someone on the road giving them trouble, or maybe they've lost themselves from their post. But you don't think that it's safe here.
I go with my gut and relay the information to Bree and everyone else.
Okay, so before you relay that, let me get to what they're doing, because this is taking you time, because you're looking down one part of the road, and you might have even like started to walk down the road a little ways to just kind of see. It's like, oh, do I see the torchlight of the guard or anything like that? So, Brielle, you go to gather some firewood, and there is a small like little wayside area where people who travel this road, they communally chop wood, and they leave it there for other travelers. So like if you take some of the wood, it's customary to leave, you know, some chopped wood behind, or at least leave something behind. There's a small box next to that where there are like wood chopping tools. There's wedges, there's axes and things of that sort. So there's wood there if you want to utilize some of that, but obviously again, the expectation is that you know, put back what you take, at least in some capacity. So it's up to you. You can either chop fresh wood or you can use the wood that's there. Either way, it's all ready for you.
I think I'm annoyed enough from Core not talking to me that I'd want to take out some aggression, so I think I'd chop the wood.
Okay. There are some felled branches and logs a little bit further off from the wayside that you can focus on chopping in the meantime. That way you don't have to fell a whole brand new tree, but there are already trees that are kind of like traveling groups might have at least gotten the tree ready, but they never had a chance to like break it down into viable pieces of firewood. So if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead and do that. Make a survival check for me.
11.
That's good enough. Baselines usually tend to get like base supplies and things like that. So you get enough wood for a decent fire after, you know, a couple hours of chopping. Ikko, you are doing you're doing what to set up camp?
Probably just setting up like a tent and shelter, and then knowing that Brielle is going to get some wood, probably kind of just create a little place for the fire.
Okay.
With like some stones and digging out the pit, or have Kubo do that part while she sets up the tent.
Okay. There are a few like already dug out areas, and it's kind of set up where it's like there are a few like small fire pits, and then like some stones or logs that were either not used for firewood, and they just kind of like naturally sank down into the earth as like a natural form of seeding. But as you kind of like cast a glance out of this little area, you can see like maybe about half a dozen groups of travelers could settle in here and just kind of rest. That's how big this area is off to the side of the road. But you can utilize one of those pits, or you can dig a new one if you wanted to. Again, it's there for the ease of travelers.
Okay.
Well
Probably just,
maintained
clean out
government
one.
infrastructure. So
Right. Yeah, she'll probably just have Kubo kind of clean out any like old used wood, make sure that it's ready for a fresh fire while she's doing the tent.
okay. You get your tent set up. Your tent is I assume it's a 1-person tent if you have a tent. Unless you specifically have a larger tent.
I probably don't. I think I just have like standard.
I feel like Ikko would take the larger tent.
Let's see. Most tents themselves hold. They can have
like
two
they're two
people in
people
them.
usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a 2-person tent. So
Okay, well then Kubo would probably be carrying a 2-person one.
yeah.
So she'd probably just set up that one for both of them.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna have you roll to set that up. You guys have been on the road before, and I know Brielle just wanted to take out some frustration on some logs. So Kubo, you're doing what Ikko asked you to do, like kind of clean out some of the fire pits. Okay. Make a perception check for me.
You serious?
Yes.
Boy.
Yep. That's brush.
Nice.
You start shoveling through and you clean it out. And that's it.
Super
If I
great.
don't see the problem, there is no problem.
Right? The problem does not
A very
exist if
Kubo
I
way
just
of
close my
thinking.
eyes.
Right.
So in time, after Brielle has chopped some wood and Ikko and Kubo have kind of cleared out an area for not just the tents, but the firewood itself. Korfel, around this time, your assessment of this does not seem safe is when you draw back to the rest.
I think my response would be, okay, do you want to try and clear the area? Do you want to take watch? Or do you want to get back in the cart and keep going?
He takes a minute and he looks around, noticing that everyone else is pretty much set up. We most definitely need to establish a watch.
I'll take first watch.
Now again, because
Are you sure?
the two of you are elves,
It's only
you
4
yeah
hours
you only
trance,
you
right?
only need
Mhm.
4 hours for trance. So the only ones who really need like full night's sleep are Ikko and Kubo.
Lazy bums.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
I'd start the fire.
Okay, you get the fire started. What are you doing about food? I believe Korfel and Brielle were wanting to to have
We
a
have a
cook
cooking
off.
contest to work on. What do you mean, like what we're gonna do about? You want to know what we're cooking, or
Yeah. I
So
wanna know what you're cooking
Korfel's gonna
because-
go see if he can find some game.
Okay, so you're gonna go hunt. You're gonna go hunt.
I am.
All right.
I think I would have the ingredients to make a stew. Like I'd use probably like the only thing I wouldn't have, I guess,
Vegetarian.
would be meat. I'd probably have to go hunt too. I'd go look for game as well.
You could either hunt or you could scavenge for herbs and things like that to kind of flavor things. So if you're going to go hunt,
I was gonna say I assume that because between medicinal uses and other like having like what's the word I'm looking for? We have like food.
so
Tell me what the word is. Rations.
rations, provisions.
Yeah,
is,
I'd have.
is-
I think I'd have some like herbs and things like that and vegetables and whatnot. But yeah, it would like the only meat I would have would be probably like jerky or something.
Yeah, so a lot of your roadworthy provisions are going to be like dried meats, like dried fruits, like cranberries.
We did just raid the
and
kitchen
things
yesterday,
like
so that
that
like the night before. So I feel like I'd have some fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, things I would have ransacked from that kitchen.
you would have things that would last
So
a
the only
journey,
thing I don't
like
have is
like
an animal.
tubers and root vegetables and things like that. Those kinds of things would last. So you've got those. Meat, again, the meat would have to be dried or salted. So if you did take any meat, it would be like salted pork, venison, that sort of thing. But it's enough to last you for a couple days travel without it spoiling.
I'll hunt in the opposite direction that he hunts.
Okay, so I need the two of you to make survival checks. This is going to determine what you
I
get.
cast guidance on myself.
You can do that.
Oh my god. I'm not
so I
gonna
got a
roll anything more than a
24.
10.
I got 24 and then plus 3, so 27.
Okay. So Korfel, you're the nice thing is that you can still fail forward. You hunt in the opposite direction of Brielle, or pretty much the vice versa. She is hunting in the opposite direction of you. You start looking for larger game, and in the direction in which you're heading, you're not having much luck. Eventually, you see that there is a small little warren of voles, and you know that you could just reach in and grab a couple. It's not going to be pleasant because they're going to like fight back, but you kind of use your instincts, because you try to smoke them out, and a couple of voles, like about half a dozen voles, scatter out of this warren. But you manage to get a hold of one of them, and you only got a hold of it because it's kind of like fat and lopsided, and it's kind of got like a bum leg. So that's the only thing you managed to get is a single vole. Meanwhile, Brielle, on the opposite side of things, how are you hunting? Because
I have a bow and arrow.
Okay. Is that in your inventory?
Oh,
Yes.
now you have one.
I have a short bow. Yeah, well,
Okay.
because I left everything behind in my room. I have a short bow, and I have a thing called Mask of the Wild, which is part of my race, where I can attempt to hide even when I'm only lightly obscured. So I'm pretty good at hunting because I can hide behind lightly obscured things.
Okay. What kind of creature are you hunting? Are you hunting grouse, pheasant, quail? Are you hunting something larger like a deer or an elk, perhaps? Or what do
I'd
you?
probably go smaller, like rabbit, pheasant,
Okay.
weasel. Something that's we don't need that much meat because there's 4 of us. And I know Kubo can eat a lot, but I don't think he can eat. No, I mean maybe he could eat a whole deer, but I'm not accounting for that. I don't want to cook a
I
whole
would assume
freaking deer,
that's
let
wrong.
alone skin and dress one. So I'm sticking with something that's like maybe 1 or 2 rabbits or pheasants or something.
Okay. You obviously you step aside, and as you're unaware of what Korfel's doing, or his amount of success, you manage to get about three quail, and you get one rabbit.
Awesome.
I
I will
none
grab
of
them
them would take very long for you to prep.
Yeah. So I will take my little feast I've gathered, and I will return to camp to start just outside of camp dressing them.
Okay, and on your way back, you notice that there are a few like natural herbs, like there's
I can keep an eye out for that.
yeah, there's like some mustard grass and
Mushrooms
things
and-
like that. Yeah. So you're able to snag up some of those on the way. After a couple hours, you return, Korfel with a single vole, and you with like a little cornucopia of meats and whatnot.
That looks good.
He's annoyed, but he doesn't let it show.
Oh, but she knows.
Oh yeah, she knows him pretty well. So, but he's not letting it show anyway.
I want it to be fair. So, do you want the quail or do you want the rabbit? Can't be a fair contest if you're cooking a freaking vole.
I will do just fine.
Your funeral.
He stubbornly takes what ingredients that he has, which isn't a lot, because why would he? But he does have things that for survival, so it makes sense that he would have something.
Well, I will tell you that survival does not include seasonings.
That's
I will tell you that right now. So, you can borrow some salt. You have group provisions, and I would assume that there's at least some salt to put on some of the meat in order to help preserve stuff at least. But beyond that, you would have to scavenge for other herbs, and unless you want to step aside and try to scavenge some more herbs, at least quickly.
Yeah. He's gonna try and grab at least a couple things for something. He's going for a kebab.
Okay. All right.
I'm skinning and defeathering and gutting and whatnot.
Okay. Well, that's gonna fall under your initial survival check of gathering the food. So that's you prepping that particular meat and getting it kind of squared away. Korfel is not having much luck because this lopsided vole is not lending much to his skill with a paring knife or anything like that. So go ahead and make me one more survival check there, Korfel.
Another
eight? What are you doing?
I don't know. I've changed my dice and everything.
You do know which end of the knife to hold, right?
I'm just
This
a better
is ridiculous.
So you find a wild turnip. You find a wild turnip, and you're looking at it, and you're looking at the vole that are roughly the same size. And you're like, you could either do turnip stuffed vole or vole stuffed turnip. It's one or the other.
Wait a minute. I feel like I should be able to cut the vole into little chunks, what I can, and make a kebab.
You can.
A turnip vole kebab.
Yeah, you can.
On a toothpick?
One kebab.
I mean, nobody said that it had to be a feast. This is a taste test.
Yeah, I suppose a taste test.
So you can do but I'm just saying, based on the size, I just imagine Korfel standing there. He's got the turnip in one hand and the vole in the other, just these are the same size.
They're the same picture.
Yeah, the same. The awkward shape of the naturally grown turnip is the same as the shape of the vole.
Quails are pretty small, right? For a pheasant bird thing.
Quails can be small. Quails can be small.
Honestly, I'd say a quail's a little bit smaller than a bat.
Their eggs.
Yeah, so
they're
common quail are about a foot. They're about a foot. Yeah, I think you're thinking Cornish hens. So they're about a foot. Okay. They're about a foot.
Okay. Because I think what I'd do is I don't want to mix both of those in the stew that I want to make. So I think the rabbit makes more sense in the stew. So I'm gonna cut up the rabbit and all my vegetables and put some of my herbs in a stew with some of my water from my water skin, like enough.
Okay.
I assume I have either
Yeah.
there's like probably water nearby or something. So I'd make, because I don't have like chicken broth or anything. So I'd make a stew with the rabbit and like vegetables,
So-
and then I'd roast the quail like on a spit kind of thing with
Okay.
herbs of their own and whatnot.
So with your combination of herbs and Korfel's meager ingredients, one more time, I need a check from you guys, but I'm not gonna have you do a survival check. This is a different check. So, you're making kebabs, Korfel, correct?
I'm making kebabs.
Okay.
Little like snack kebabs.
A little toothpick
What are they
kebab.
called? Horse
yeah,
doovers?
basically, finger food.
He's
you've
making the appetizer for my dinner.
you've got enough meat and turnip to make a small kebab for everyone, but it would be like one kebab per.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Brielle, you're working on yours, so I'm going to have you guys make oh, do I want it to be a
Watch, I rolled
survival
bad
check?
on this check.
I'm just gonna have you guys roll me a D20. Just a flat D20
I-
roll.
Can I give my self guidance?
You may you may guidance yourself. You are trying to win a contest.
I'm gonna give myself guidance again. Do I get advantage because I'm the better cook anyway? We already determined this.
No.
That's bullshit. I am the better cook. I got a 12.
You got the 8 that I keep getting, so get fucked.
but we rolled earlier that I'm the better cook, so shouldn't I have advantage because I'm the better cook?
This is for your quail meal. What are you doing for the rabbit? You're gonna have to roll a D20 for your rabbit also.
I'm making a stew for my rabbit.
Okay.
So I'm putting in like the root vegetables and spices and rabbit.
So let me ask you this. So do you want that 12 to be for the rabbit or the quail?
the rabbit.
Okay. So you throw everything in there. That's your stew.
It'd be nice to be D20. You got to me. Okay, that's better. With the 4, it's a 16.
Okay.
So that's a combined 22.
But they're two separate meals.
I know. Shh.
They're two separate meals. They are two separate meals. So you Korfel, your kebabs, for as simple as they are, they're pretty good. They're pretty good with the little that you had. They're pretty good. And Brielle, your rabbit stew, it smells very good because of the herbs and whatnot that you've put into it. The meat's very tender. It doesn't take much for the meat to kind of absorb a lot of that flavor. And then
what was gonna happen?
And then what were you doing with the quail?
I was just roasting it like on a spit over the fire.
Okay.
We'll just say I probably burnt it a little bit or something.
Okay, it's not burned. It's not burnt. It's let's just say it's extra crispy. It's not burnt. It's extra crispy.
I forgot about it because I was so focused on the stew.
Yeah, you're trying to stir the stew, and honestly, you're still mad at Korfel.
I'm distracted. It's all his fault, like always. All right. Well,
I'm glad I made
served-
popcorn.
I serve it up to
Yeah, I have it
everybody.
at
I
home
assume
for
everybody
that.
has their own mess kit, so
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's
So
get
Ikko
that
probably
salad
like-
to trays.
Okay,
Nice.
so I mean it smells like a decent meal.
I knew rolling so good on the survival was going to give me a bad roll for the frickin' actual cooking. I had a feeling. I jinxed myself.
It's okay.
I'm trying.
Hold on. I'm typing.
Type away. There's just an ad for Monster on the stream, and now I want one.
I was contemplating earlier, suggesting that Kubo also participate in the cooking contest.
Oh man, what a waste of food.
Oh no, I was gonna.
Hey, he got the highest roll.
No, the idea was
That's
to
true. But he doesn't
just, like go like full like Iron Chef judge. Okay,
yeah.
well maybe
Yeah,
not like
that's
that,
what
but
I
like
thought.
more
That's what I
descriptive,
thought. Yeah.
more descriptive answers other than just oh it's good or eh.
To be fair, just because you're a foodie doesn't mean you're a good cook. But he did roll surprisingly well, which is funny. Considering all of his skills are negative, I think. Pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah, a lot of his int skills, a lot of Kubo's int skills are low. But
I
in
choose to
it
believe that he's just a natural savant at cooking, even though.
Oh,
he's
you know what? That
dumb.
tracks too.
so as you guys get your meal and stuff ready, the time comes for the taste test, and because Korfel and Brielle are taking part in this as contestants, quote unquote, that leaves Ikko and Kubo to be the judges.
Oh, no.
Because otherwise they're just gonna say mine's better, even if they have to
Well,
tough
they're
through.
supposedly both better cooks than us anyway, so that makes sense.
Fair. In all fairness, we had people cook for us in the military. We didn't have to cook very often.
I mean, I feel like I cooked myself a lot of stuff because that's just my nature.
Right. All right. So, Ikko and Kubo, you're given
A tiny little appetizer stick and a bowl and a quail.
A half a quail.
There's 3 whole quails, so I could probably
Well-
give each of you a quail and then one.
Quail.
I'd probably give each of you a quail and then the last one would go to Korfel because I would just have the stew.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 2.
Nope,
And
he
Ikko
said
probably
3.
wouldn't eat very much anyway, so
That's fair. You're
Um,
tiny.
yeah.
I
yeah,
thought you
she
didn't eat
probably
meat.
would
Yours-
eat like.
You could split yours with him though, with Kubo, because he eats like 3 times as much as anybody.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, she'd probably take like half the quail and give him the other half of hers, and just a small bowl of soup.
I thought Bree was a veggie.
She prefers, but she doesn't only. That's why she
Okay,
prefers
okay,
the
okay,
stew
okay.
because there's rabbit in it, but there's more veggies in it.
I definitely thought you said that she didn't eat meat at all.
No, if you look in our thingamajig, I think I changed it to say that she prefers vegetarian, but like she doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in this case, she could still get some stew and not get any of like
that
the
chunks
chunks
of
of meat. It just has the meat kind of
meat
flavor.
juices.
Yeah. Yeah, like the broken down fats and things
Tends
like
to
that.
lean vegetarian since she grew up that way, but is not strict about it.
Okay.
And in the military, you really can't like be picky.
Be vegetarian.
They
Yeah, and
they
you need
give you
the
what they give you.
Energy. You need energy and
Yeah.
stuff too, so you need to have the protein.
All right. So between all that, Ikko and Kubo, you are given your vole and turnip kebabs, which lack a lot in their presentation, but flavor wise, they're pretty good. You're not sure if that's a flavor combo you would have gone with because it's only seasoned with salt.
And turnip.
And turnip. So there's that strong taste of turnip that follows the slightly chewy meat of the vole. But it tastes good. Honestly, none of the food is bad. So it would be up to you guys to determine what was the better meal.
Uh-oh, I thought you were gonna tell us which one was better.
I mean,
could roll for it.
honestly,
Raiders. Sorry, I had to get excited.
Yeah, actually, I think rolling for it is a good call. I might do like evens. She votes Korfel. and
Yeah.
odds, she
You could
votes
do above
Brielle.
10. You could roll like 1 to 10 is bad, and 11 to 20 is good or something. I don't know.
Oh, like roll for her opinion of each dish.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. So this will be for Korfel. The
Oh no.
vol nip kebab. Oh, I hate how that
Vol
comes
nip.
up.
I love it.
Okay.
So
I
11,
have a
and then
vole. I have a turnip.
so I think to keep it fair, I'm gonna roll just once for Brielle too, and combine the quail. And
Okay, that's fine. She's definitely had to prepare more, so she's probably put a little less focus into her.
No way.
Whoa.
What is my life?
And what was that for?
This was her rolling for her opinion of Brielle's food was the 3, and then 11 was for Korfel's.
I think you should roll separately for the poultry and the rabbit stew.
All right,
That
I'll
could
add-
have been for
That's what I
the
was-
quail because I partially burned it or made it extra crispy.
Is this a drink? This appears to be all broth and no substance.
Oh, that's a little bit still. Please, I told you. This is because I got a 27 for my survival check, so I come back with all the meat, but I fucking fail at everything else.
Too angy.
So
Well,
Too angy indeed.
so we determined that for Ikko it was the odds that leaned towards Korfel, or was it?
yeah, I think
okay.
so. It's pretty even. I think with the
Probably because
average,
it's her size. It's tiny, and it's like, oh, this is the perfect size for me.
Yeah.
right?
She's biased.
Now what about Kubo? What about Kubo? How's Kubo determining the? Go ahead and go Iron Chef on them if you wish.
I'm offended.
Hold on. Roll's going here. Let's see. For a D20 on the kebab will be. Yeah, D20 on the kebab is above or below 10.
Okay,
So splitting it that way.
that works. So
That's just gonna-
Which one's
who's
good and which one's
who-
bad?
who's below and who's above? It's a nat 20.
I quit. I quit.
He really loves that kebab.
My
literally
full
a single
kebab
bite.
is the hit of the party.
I quit. I'm gonna walk 20 feet into the woods and sleep by myself away from everyone.
Korfel's like got tears in his eyes because he thinks this is the funniest fucking thing.
All right, so that's for the kebab. What about the?
I don't even know what to say on that one. Like, completely unexpected combination, but
Less is
A
more.
frickin'
Basically, less is more. It was
have overlooked this one detail.
A vole is a literal rodent.
Yep.
But have you tried it with a turnip?
And a little bit of salt.
That's for the kids.
Really, I think it's just the way I cooked it, crisp the outside just enough that it.
Had a nice sear on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whale. Oh,
That didn't work. What did I do wrong? Oh, I did the slash after.
well, the skin is crispy. The seasoning is good, but I think it's been a little too long in the heat. It's lost too much of its moisture and it has turned a little leathery.
Well, I
I love Iron Chef Kubo.
Iron Chef Kubo is canon. He's got no input on other things. He thinks a mechanical
Oh.
go. Ooh.
Another 20. What the?
Ooh,
So is that for my rabbit stew then?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a tie, though. That's a tie for the
For the Iron Chef Kubo, a tie between
for Iron Chef Kubo. It's a tie between kebab and stew.
The meat's flavor is firm and heavy, but the mix of herbs and seasonings really carry you on to the next bite. So it's not like you're not lingering in the meat zone.
The meat zone.
I don't understand what's happening right now.
Again,
No.
it's like Kubo's got like no
Meat
input on
plane.
anything else. Thinks
The meat plane, the beefiverse.
the goat is like magical, and all of
Well,
a
I
sudden,
love my stew too. Apparently, I didn't like the vole. I didn't like. I rolled a 2 for the vole thing. I rolled a 5 for the quail, and then I rolled a natural 20 for my own rabbit stew.
Okay.
We're wasting our natural 20s, you guys.
I know, right? So Ikko is definitely like cracking up at their reaction to Kubo's analysis of the dishes because she knows him, and I think once she kind of settles down, she's gonna be like, believe it or not, he's actually an amazing cook.
So,
Well, then maybe the next food contest should be you cooking.
so out of
Tell me not to
everything,
make you
nobody
do
liked your
things.
quell except Korfel. Korfel loved the quell, was like meh to everything else, including
Everything
his
else was
own
like
dish.
two
To be fair,
seasoned.
he's a meat guy.
Yeah.
He's a meat guy, so
Yeah.
like plain old meat makes sense.
It's just funny.
What the fuck? The dice are acting so weird today.
I
I
know
can't
they
roll
are.
higher than a
Last episode, I got to
fucking
try.
10, and when I do, it's fucking nonsense.
The dice are not on the party side tonight, unless it's like, hey, the meat zone. I like that the meat zone and Iron Chef Kubo is like canon right now.
Oh my god.
The shenanigans, you guys.
I was ready to. I was like writing down like comments while you all were talking and rolling
Nice.
stuff. I was writing down ideas for like, was there anything other than salt? This feels like the time I tried talking to ocean fish.
But
Oh my God.
yeah, so
All right,
you
well-
again, Korfel likes the quail. Everyone else is like on the quail, but the stew was pretty good and the vole was really good. So would Brielle give an honest assessment of what she ate? Or would
I just rolled the dice like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 5 for his vole, so I didn't like it. And then I rolled a 2 for his vole, a 5 for my quail, and then a 20 for the stew. So I
Okay.
did not like his vole, and it's from the dice, so I can say that she probably was trying to be unbiased about it.
Okay.
Here, can I roll an insight check on myself to see if I did it unbiased?
I mean, it's up to you to determine if you were unbiased or not. If you were giving an
Oh,
unbiased
no, the
opinion.
dice did it.
You're gonna interrogate yourself, like holding up a mirror, just like, where are they?
I gave an unbiased opinion, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
Maybe I had a bad experience with vole when I was a child or something.
For you, since you don't tend to eat meat a lot, there is more meat on there than turnip, at least on your particular kebab. So it's like you're trying to kind of like eat
It was
around
on
it, but
purpose.
you're still giving it a
it's
fair
only turnip.
shot. But like maybe you get like too thick of a piece of turnip, and it's just that quick bitter flavor hits you all at once along with the salt. So it's like so you're kind of put off by it. You eat it, but you're put off by it.
Laughing at the idea of a freak vole accident.
I ate it and I didn't like it when I was a kid, or like we got stuck eating it for a while or something. Is more
It was
what I
an
meant.
infestation.
I thought I was
Like, once they're dealing with it.
vole.
Yeah, because voles are like they're like lemmings.
Skittish.
They're like
They-
lemmings and hamsters. So anyway, so you guys, it's up to you to determine who is the better chef out of all of that. Because I leave it to the players. Because I myself am not eating any of this stuff. And you're not sharing it with anyone else who's in the adjacent campsites. So you don't really have much of a.
Well, based on averages alone, I'm pretty sure he won because like
Yeah.
Kubo got a 20, Ikko had an 11, and then Korfel had a 7, and I had a 2,
Yeah.
and then
Second.
3, 5, 16. I don't know. It's almost a tie. I feel like it's a pretty close call.
I inched ahead.
You inched ahead though. I feel like it's a pretty close call, but you're like a little bit better.
You would
This
you would
time.
think based upon like the amount of stuff that you prepped and in the same amount of time that you prepped it, he made his vole kebabs in the same time that it took you to prep the quail and
I don't know because
prep
he was
the-
off hunting for his turnip when I started.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, by the time all that was done, you still had your stew and everything set up. And then he was just kind of like chopping meat and putting them on the kebabs. But okay. If you think that he won based on the average, then Korfel managed to pull one out with barely anything. Less is more.
I've had practice.
Ha.
You win this one, Korfel.
I think I would just say, like, congratulations, and then walk away and sit down somewhere.
Okay. So after you all eat, it's a good meal. It's none of it is bad. None of it is bad. Like, it's not turning your stomach. It's not undercooked. It's not
On
going to make
actual
you ill.
averages that I put in, I just calculated it. The stew has the highest average. To be
Okay.
fair. Just saying.
Okay.
Well,
The
then-
kebab had an average of 10, the quail had an average of 8, and the stew had an average of 14 because there's 2 natural 20s on it. If you
Okay.
include my opinion, I'm kind of biased, but so is he. So I don't know. I exclude.
well,
I wasn't biased. I liked the quail.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm trying. What were yours? You were 7, 16, 6. If I remove yours and mine, then so if I don't account for mine or Korfel's, then his kebab was 16, the quail was 5, and the stew was 15. So then it was what we said originally. Like, he just barely pulled ahead.
Yeah, he barely pulled ahead. It's the fact that he made something so good with so little.
Mhm.
And then, you put a lot of work into yours, and it shows. Again, like, none of it was bad. None of it's turning your stomachs or anything like that. So I don't know, maybe friendly wise between like a friendly competition between Korfel and Brielle, this, for example, maybe it's like, oh well, maybe one, maybe you win this one, but I'll get the next one. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like congratulations.
This is going to be an
and then go sit down.
ongoing theme
Oh yeah, this is
at
going to
every
be something that
camp.
happens.
Korfel and Bree are cooking, and Kubo and Ikko are just sitting there going with their notepads ready to critique.
I just want more of Iron Chef Kubo. That's
I mean, honestly, yeah.
On Kubo's notepad, it wouldn't be anything written down. It'd just be a drawing.
yeah.
A happy
It's
face,
just
a sad
a
face.
drool puddle.
There's a stain from like some of the dripping fat off of a cooked piece of meat. Yeah, there you go. But you guys, you take watch. Brielle said she was taking first watch.
Yes.
Who's taking second watch?
It would make sense for Korfel to take second watch.
That way they get their full sleep.
Because that way they both get their full 8 hours
Okay.
that they need. And
So-
then
We can
she
have
would
our
just
4.
watch for 4, then he would watch for 4.
And then the other one trances for 4. And okay,
Yeah.
so the two of you are going to stay watch while Ikko and Kubo just sleep through the night.
Pretty much.
Okay. Is that
They
okay with
probably
Ikko and
wouldn't trust us to
Kubo?
keep watch anyway. Yeah, that's fine with Ikko.
Okay.
She likes to sleep.
To be fair, I would not let Kubo take watch.
No.
Yeah, Ikko probably wouldn't either.
This
I don't
kind of worked
think-
out well.
I don't think Kubo would let Kubo take watch.
I think Kubo's overconfident, and Kubo would be like, "Yeah, I can do that."
And then he wanders off.
Yeah, that
Um,
would be Ikko's fear. Is that he would get distracted and wander, and then he'd be lost.
Would absolutely get lost. With a whopping +0 in survival at that.
Chasing a moth.
Okay. So
Nature. Oh my god, nature is a -1.
during your first watch, Brielle, very uneventful watch. You happen to see the road guard making his way down with his torch. Just a slow, easy pace. He is keeping watch, but it's a well-maintained road. Well, I don't want to say well-maintained because it's known as the battered road, but it's a road that people travel frequently enough that it needs to be protected, and it leads into a major city. So most major cities, like you're aware of, have these guards at least in between, especially between Uthelior and Sorrderis, and then Sorrderis to Port Chester. So
Well, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, while Korfel's trancing and the others are sleeping, I want to take the stone back out of his bag without waking him, if possible.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Do I get advantage because he's sleeping?
No.
Shit.
Good try though.
10. I forgot to give myself guidance.
What's your passive perception, Korfel?
Not
My
good.
passive perception is 12.
Okay.
If I had just given myself guidance.
You notice that you were broken out of your trance by Brielle rummaging through your pocket or your pack, wherever you have the
He said he put it in his pack.
Yeah, it's in my pouch, which is at my hip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
not when you're sleeping.
I mean, you're probably sleeping in your clothes. Nobody sleeps in their armor. I know most soldiers
Yeah.
probably do, and you guys are used to it.
Yeah, but I
But-
don't think you keep your pouches on while you're sleeping.
Yeah, you
blow on 'em.
don't. You don't. You would keep it near your bag, but that's where she would be noticed, is she's trying to find which pouch it is, and she kind of makes a noise because like a buckle rustles or jingles, and it catches your attention.
I just smile innocently at him.
So he's gonna narrow his eyes at her and be like, "I thought you were keeping watch," and then raise his eyebrow.
I am. And I keep rummaging
Watching
through his
the
bag for
inside
his
of my bag.
phone.
He is gonna reach over and take his stuff and bring it to him, away from her.
Can I be faster?
No, it's his stuff. He's settled in. It's his stuff.
I can't be fast enough to take it away before
It would
he
be
grabs it?
like the way Korfel would have his stuff is like
Yeah,
practically
but I already
using
have
his
it in my
pack.
hands.
Okay, so I can have you
You
two
would like
make-
to take it from her then.
Yeah, so my question is you're trying to take it back from him, right, Brielle? You want the
No,
stone
it was
back?
in my hands. I would have tried to pull it away. Like, before he tried to take it out of my hands, I would have liked to try
Okay.
and pull it away so he couldn't take it from me.
Give me a dexterity check from you, Brielle, and a dexterity check from you, Korfel, to determine who's gonna get a hold of it
Ooh.
first.
Terrible. 5. Good natural 1.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Brielle,
What the
you
shit, y'all?
you are faster. So you snag it, but then you drop it really quick, and then you panic, and then you grab it again.
He's gonna stand up and be prepared to brute force it.
This whole time, I'm laughing. I think it's hilarious. Or like, I'm
He
chuckling
was-
and smiling.
Trying to rest.
Okay, so as you fumble with it, it falls out of the pouch. And
grab it.
well, as you go to grab it, Korfel also goes to grab it. Instinctually, he goes to grab it. The two of you, there's an unnatural stillness as your hands connect with this thing. Time feels like it's slowing. The air begins to thicken around the two of you like molten gold. And all of a sudden the world around you vanishes into a radiant void. You hear the whispers, and they're much louder now. And Ikko, make me a quick wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. That work?
13.
13.
Something's wrong. You feel like something's wrong, and you're kind of jolted out of your sleep. Something about the stone. So as go ahead.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna kind of acknowledge that just because she kind of like jolts awake and tries to like orient herself and would probably like leave the tent. Does she know? I don't remember if she saw Brielle hand the stone off to Korfel. I don't think she did. Because didn't that happen when she was talking with the goat person?
Yeah, that happened during that interaction. So, but you know that Brielle has it, and you know that Brielle and Korfel are in the same tent. So you see,
I don't think I would have slept in a tent. I think I would have slept outside.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well,
I wouldn't
she
have
was-
had a
she
tent.
was
I would have
walking.
used a bedroll.
with your high enough passive perception, though, Ikko, you hear them in their tent. in
Oh, okay.
in Korfel's
Then, yeah,
tent.
she would probably rush over there.
Okay. But
I
as
think we would have been tentless, DM. I think both of us would have been
Yeah.
sleeping just in our bedrolls by the fire.
okay, well then it is
Or
easy.
trancing.
It is easier for her
It
to
is
see the two of you.
easier to hear.
It just makes it easy.
What I'm trying to say is, she sees you.
Sorry.
So as Ikko, as you exit your tent, you look over, you see the two of them, and they have their hands on the stone. And to you, it seems like they're not moving. To Korfel and Brielle, though, you hear the whispers, and the whispers, they keep that same hushed tone, but there are so many of them that it's almost like you're drowning in a sea of whispers.
Can I fight it off?
No, that was
Okay.
I'm getting to this.
I need.
Can I, as like an instinct reaction, I think I'd cast guidance on Korfel.
You cannot,
No.
not in this instance. You are not conscious of the material world around you,
Well, I'm conscious of him though.
but you're not conscious of the material world around you. You don't know what's happening.
Right. So I think my defensive reaction to try and protect him, since I'm not like trying to cast a whole spell. Since guidance is a cantrip, I think it's
Okay.
just like
So
I'm arguing.
Yeah, I know you're arguing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But that's just my argument. Is like
cast
because
guidance.
I cast guidance on
Okay.
him then.
You cast guidance, and you see the holy magic radiate off of you onto him, and almost in like this little protective halo. Your hands, again, you're in this radiant void. Both of you at least have one hand on this stone at this point. You see the magic wash over him, and then all of a sudden get sucked into the stone.
Gotcha.
And you hear more of the whispers, and you're able to pick out words. And finally, one voice is louder than all of the other whispers. You stand upon the fulcrum of fate, where past and future entwine. See what was, what is, and what may yet be. And both of you seemingly get yanked into the stone. You watch as like this ethereal form of your bodies gets yanked into the stone. There's the two of you are standing amidst the ruins of a once great civilization. The sky is churning with cosmic fire. There are spectral figures that whisper of ancient betrayals. There's a sigil, one that no one has ever seen before in your lifetime. You can't even begin to recognize. It glows upon a crumbling monolith. As you're being drawn into this Ikko, again, you see them and you watch their bodies just kind of like give this little listing jolt. And you notice that each of them have a hand on the stone.
So to her, is it like that they're unnaturally still, or like they're just kind of
Unnaturally still.
okay? Yes, you would definitely try, probably not touch them because this is very strange. And just be like, hello, and like wave her hand kind of in front of their faces, see if there's any response.
They do not respond.
Oh boy. I'm not even really sure how to address the situation. She kind of
You
looks
pick up
like
a branch.
So I think she looks, because she might not immediately have recognized that they were holding the stone, because it's small and like it was in between like their hands. So she'll probably look at where their hands are connected,
Yeah.
and maybe notice like the kerchief or like a glint of the stone.
Their hands, like if you were to look at it, you see the backs of their hands, their fingertips. Both of them have fingertips touching the stone, with the stone kind of bridging the gap between their personages.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she definitely does not want to touch that. So, I think she might go. Oh gosh. Can I try to like throw a dagger at the stone to dislodge it from between their fingers?
Oh no.
You may attempt to do so.
This is a terrible idea.
Go ahead
I
and roll.
really don't want to lose any fingers.
Okay, no, not a dagger. How about a stone? I'll throw a rock. Like a small
You're
rock.
gonna smash a finger.
I can fix a broken finger.
I'm just grab a blanket. Just toss a blanket onto it.
Just add the
Well,
finger
it
to the
was
next
already, like,
stew. That's
cover us up,
all. That's
pretend that it's not happening.
all right. So go ahead and roll.
What do I even roll for that? Is like an unarmed strike? Or like, is
No,
there a-
no. Technically, you're throwing. So go ahead and roll a d20 plus your dexterity modifier or your strength modifier, whichever's higher.
Definitely dex. I have -1 in strength.
Because again, you're trying not to hit their hands. You're trying to hit the stone. 14. Okay.
Okay, it's +3.
Okay. So 17. All right. Very good.
Phew.
So as you do that, Ikko, you throw the stone and you throw a rock at the stone. But as Korfel and Brielle, the sigil disappears, and you find yourselves at a crossroad, and there's a robed figure standing there, and they have a mask that shifts between faces, and it stands there facing the two of you as the road crosses off behind it. You hear what appears, it sounds like a cacophonous knock, as if stone has connected with stone. The two of you can make a wisdom saving throw again. Okay, so Brielle, you got a 10, correct?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. Yes, I got a 10.
Oh, you're muted. Okay, so you have a 10. Korfel, you have a 20, correct?
Yep.
The cacophonous knock takes you out of this vision, Korfel. You're ripped from it, and it's almost like a violent rip. Ikko, as soon as the stone that you throw connects with the other stone, you notice Korfel like jolts out of it. Brielle, you're still there, and the robed figure kind of regards the fact that Korfel has disappeared, and then turns its attention back to you again.
Can I interact?
You may.
Who are you? What is the stone?
One path leads to salvation, the other to damnation. Which do you walk? And you notice that the roads behind him flicker, and there's a brief flash of triumph and tragedy behind each path. But he does not answer your question.
Salvation.
and
Then
the
head
road.
towards the path of triumph.
Okay. You watch as the roads begin to flicker. You take a few steps, and then everything dissolves into mist. Back in the real world, Korfel, you're jolted out of this. Ikko, you see that Korfel is now fully awake and conscious of what is going on. What did the two of you do? You see that Brielle is still kind of out of it.
I rip a piece of cloth from whatever's closest to me, bedroll, my clothes, I don't care, and wrap it around the stone carefully and literally try to rip it from her grasp.
Okay, I need strength checks, opposed strength checks from Korfel and Brielle, but Brielle, you have advantage.
Oh shit.
Son of a
Ikko, help.
bitch!
Ikko can help to offer some advantage to Korfel. So if you want to help him pull, yeah. So you get to roll one more time.
I have a
Well,
13
can't
with
like-
advantage.
Much better. I like that. 20.
Okay, so you got a 13 with your advantage there,
Yeah.
Brielle. Ikko, with your assistance, if it were not for your assistance, Korfel would not have been able to rip this from her. So you kind of tug, and then all of a sudden, as you're walking that path of salvation, Brielle, you are violently jolted back into yourself. You're awake, you're aware of all of this, and Korfel's got the stone kind of wrapped up, and you can sense where it is. The three of you can sense where the stone is at this point.
I put it away. Like, it just feels dangerous.
I think I just sit.
What just happened?
This stone feels like a curse.
It's a key, I think.
Key to what?
Salvation or damnation.
Helpful, thanks.
Oh, fuck yourself. Whoever that was with the mask. One path leads to salvation, the other damnation. Which do you walk? After you were gone. I try to explain what else, like what I saw, like what he said and what I saw. The paths of triumph and tragedy.
So as you try to pull that information, like water off a duck's back, that information is immediately gone. You recall what was said, but you don't recall what was seen outside of the cloaked figure, the mask that shifts between faces. You did see triumph and you saw tragedy, but you couldn't pinpoint details. You're like, it's like one side was light and one side was dark, and you saw specters, visions, things of that sort, but nothing firmly detailed for you to be like, okay, this is this, or I know what this particular thing was. You don't have that grasp on the finer details of what you saw.
Do we remember the first part where we shared it, where there's the ruins, the sigil?
Oh, yes. You remember the sky churning with cosmic fire, the sigil itself. But again, it was as if it was like a glowing sigil in the sky, and the way the light was playing on it. Like, if you two were to try to recreate that sigil, they would be vastly different, either based upon angle in the vision or shape or curve of the sigil itself. Like, say you draw it in the dirt with your finger, then you know yours is going to be different than Korfel's, and vice versa. You try to do it with a stick, and you try to corroborate your stories. It's like, okay, I saw perhaps an upside down V with branching points coming out of it, and then he would be like, I saw an upside down a U with no branching points and a line through it. You know, that you can't recreate it because your mind didn't grasp it fully, but you remember seeing a sigil.
There's something very off about this thing.
No shit. That's why we're looking for. What's his face?
You didn't?
We need to
Eudran.
not touch it
If you
until
hadn't
we have
yanked the
more
bag, I wouldn't have
information.
touched it. I would have kept it in the handkerchief.
Why were you going through my things to begin with?
Because I wanted to look at the stone.
We just said we shouldn't be touching it, and you were going after it anyway.
Well, first of all, that was before we decided not to touch it. Second of all, I wasn't planning on touching it. I was just planning on looking at it while holding it in the handkerchief. I wasn't going to put it on my hand. Regardless, we can't change what happened. Go back to sleep.
I'm awake now.
You have to finish.
How much longer do I have?
You were woken up about halfway through.
I won't fucking touch it, okay? I feel like the past 2 days, Brielle's just kind of felt like she's done nothing but fuck everything up every step of the way. So she's just kind of doing her own little sitting there and pouting.
Okay.
Fine. And he'll like get comfy on this bedroll again and return to his trance.
And
Okay.
Ikko's gonna go back to bed.
All right. Kubo sleeps through the night, I'm sure, rather easily with a
Yeah,
full
baby.
tummy. Ikko, you're kind of lost with all of this. You're feeling that same pull to the object. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Nat 20. Oh no, 4.
That's not your 20.
Hold on.
That's not your 20.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The physical dice in D&D Beyond was on 20, so I don't know how the heck it ended up at a 2. I should have screenshotted it. All right, 4.
He says with more confidence.
Ugh.
Okay. Sorry, I was typing.
I think too that aside from this, while her brain is doing whatever her brain's doing, after Korfel kind of gets comfortable, I'd scoot close to him and like lean back against him.
Like the back-to-back sleeping that soldiers tend to do.
Kind of,
Mhm.
but like he's laying down and I'm just leaning against his laying down body.
Okay.
Sort of. So sort of like that, but without like changing his position.
Okay. Ikko and Korfel, I've sent both of you a message.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel left out.
Okay. So the rest of the night, the rest of your trances go by uneventfully. Ikko, do you do anything? Do you continue to sleep through the night, or do you do anything else?
I think she heads back to the tent, but probably kind of tosses and turns for a while, kind of just contemplating everything that just happened.
Okay.
But eventually falls back asleep.
Okay. Morning comes and you are You're all awoken. You're fully rested. Those of you who needed the 8 hours of rest, and those of you who only needed a 4-hour trance, you do manage to get it. Next morning, you start gathering up your things. Do you do anything else? Anything in particular before you hit the road again?
Probably just make
Korfel's
breakfast.
gonna pull Bree aside.
All right.
Walk with me for a moment.
Yeah.
And he's gonna walk them away from Ikko and Kubo.
Okay.
We are talking secretly so they can't hear us, I assume. This
Yeah,
time?
that's pretty much the point.
The walking away from Ikko, like I would assume that any conversation being taken part from away from Ikko is because you don't want Ikko to overhear.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I tried to do that before and it didn't work. So
So she's probably gonna be like, what? But everyone's awake now, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she'll probably be packing up camp, but she's gonna, even though if they're far off, like she'll still be watching them, even if she can't hear them, because she's kind of curious about why they're wandering off again.
Okay. All right, Korfel, you take Brielle aside.
I don't think that we should be passing the stone back and forth through everyone.
that wasn't my plan.
Something feels off. I think it's best it stays in my possession for now.
Why you specifically?
I do not believe it affects me as much as it seems to affect you and the little one.
Whatever.
Being pulled into visions that leave us so vulnerable is not safe.
I'm not arguing, am I?
I'm just explaining my thought process.
You don't need to. I trust your judgment.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We need to keep an eye on the little one in case the stone disappears again.
When we get to your estate, we should try to find a box for it.
Yes, lockbox would be very handy.
Okay. Is that all?
I was contemplating this situation with this stone. That was what was on my mind earlier.
She smiles a little bit, but tries to hide it.
Don't look so smug.
I don't know why you couldn't just tell me that.
I don't fully trust the other two yet.
Yeah, I suppose we're in close quarters. Alright, well, it'll stay in your bag, and then we'll try and find a box for it when we get to your estate.
We need to get to know the other two better. I need to know that we can trust them on this journey, no matter where it takes us.
Right. I'll try. I'm not very personable.
You're better at words than I.
I don't think so, actually.
That's fair.
Pretty sure I have a -1 charisma.
I have a +2 to charisma. I like
Two.
he plays it off. Okay, he's trying to play it off. He is trying to show confidence in her that they both know is not accurate.
Yeah, no, she remember resting bitch face, right? There's a reason.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. Well,
not
I mean, he
charismatic
has
at all.
he has that look all the time where he's like silently judging you all the time, like the eyebrows up, and he's just like analyzing the shit out of everything anybody does. So like they're
Right.
really just two peas in a pod either way.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
He just has a better way with words than
I'm just like, I can interrogate. If you want me to interrogate them, sure, I can do that. I'm used to that, but I don't think that's what we're going for.
I don't think that would instill confidence.
No, so maybe I should drive the cart, and you should get to know them better, since you're the one with the concern anyway.
He wrinkles his nose, but he
Because I have good insight, and I have insight checked them at least Ikko multiple times, and
That's fair.
I have a pretty fair vote of confidence. Like, I have a good judge of character, but you're better at communicating with people.
I mean, he's pretty intimidating too.
Yeah.
Intimidating, persuasive. That's what he's got going for him.
I have a plus
That's
one
fair enough.
intimidation because I'm proficient in it, but I'm not charismatic in any way, shape, or form. So
I have
no.
a +4.
Yeah, exactly. You're intimidating and charming, so you have it all, and I have nothing. So let's.
I'm
just
a
not
pretty
get-
boy, okay? Anyway, fair enough.
You talk to them, and I will drive the cart. How about that?
He-
I have
he
better navigational
turns-
skills than you, anyway.
Brielle, do you have proficiency with land vehicles?
It doesn't show, but I feel like I should.
It would be
because of my
under
military.
proficiencies.
No, I
training,
know.
and
I
tools.
feel like I should, but I don't. It says dice set, but I feel like doesn't that come with the soldier background?
No.
Then where did he get it from?
Where did I get it from? I'm 90% sure I got it from soldier background.
You know, I do
I
think
thought
that comes with the soldier background. Hold
I'm like,
on.
I'm
Hold on
almost
now.
positive.
I swear to God,
on.
it did. Yeah,
Hold on.
you have
Background
is it
soldier.
equipment versus.
Yeah, tool proficiency that's automatically given in the soldier background. I think you might have. I did the 2014 core
Yeah, so
rules.
tool proficiency is one type of gaming set and then vehicles land. Yes, so you do.
Yeah, so yes, I am. It's just not there for some reason. So I don't know if you can fix that.
I
but
can fix
it's
that. No worries.
Cool.
Um,
So then yes, I do have proficiency in land vehicles. So I can drive the cart and he can be charming.
Okay. So as you two are determining that, Ikko and Kubo, Ikko, you're kind of just watching them and you see them talking back and forth for a little bit. Kubo, what are you up to? You've had the morning to kind of get things packed up, to grab yourself something to eat. What else are you doing?
I was just shadowing Ikko, trying not to wander too far.
Yeah, you notice that every so often as Ikko's kind of watching the two of them, natural curiosity kind of like, you see her take like a little half step. Even if she's like in the middle of something, like packing something up, she's taking like a half step closer, just kind of like being a little nosy, but not getting like, obviously she's not right up on them to determine what they're doing, but it's like she's trying to determine a little bit more information from them. And you see her just, she's probably done this before, like especially like when you guys have been like scoping out jobs and things like that. She's kind of like, because of her height advantage that she has, you know, she can get into places unnoticed and hear things that other people might not be able to hear. Is that a safe assessment, Ikko, of Ikko's character, or am I incorrect? Feel free to tell me no.
No, that's definitely accurate. It's just unfortunate that we're in a very open area where she cannot hide behind anything. Or get close to them unnoticed, or
Right.
otherwise she probably would have.
Talk to them.
You know what? That's a great idea. Why don't you go say hi and see how they're doing this morning?
Okay.
You'll probably start walking back at this point in time.
Yeah, they start walking back, and Kubo, do you go up and just talk to them?
Hi. Ikko said
Hello.
to talk to you for...
Okay.
What
Hi.
do you want to talk about?
I pat Korfel on the back and walk towards Ikko to like finish cleaning up camp, leaving him to do the charming talking thing because I don't want to do it.
You want the charming one to talk to the not so intelligent one.
You-
Got it.
I'm not gonna talk to Ikko.
It's
I'm
a
just gonna help
testament
clean up
of your
camp.
ability to charm someone.
Also, he's stupid, so he'll give away more information
That's not nice.
unintentionally.
Brutal.
True.
Name's Kubo.
I'm aware, Kubo. We met earlier.
He was making a joke because you said brutal, and it sounds
Oh,
kind
okay.
of like Kubo.
Got it. I didn't get it.
Clearly. Intelligence isn't your strong suit, just the charming part.
I thought it was because someone said he's stupid, and he's like, "No, I'm Kubo."
I'll give you that
either
too.
way,
That makes
anytime
That was
someone's
all
like,
outside of game.
I'm lost on what's happening.
He's
Talk to
walking up and
Kubo.
talking to you, and I'm walking away, patting you on the back, saying good luck silently.
Yeah.
because
I go finish
Brielle wants you
cleaning
to
up
get
camp
to
with
know
Ikko.
them better.
Yep.
You've got
Because it was your idea.
So where are you
Ikko
from,
making
Kubo?
her work face.
Her what face?
Her work face.
What's her work face mean?
Squinty.
Squinty. What usually happens when she has her work face on?
Oh no.
I don't know. It could be. What was that, sorry?
I said, "Oh no."
You didn't hear that though.
No, she didn't. It was me saying, "Oh no."
It's all sorts of things can end up happening. It usually, it usually does happen before something. She usually does squint before something crazy happens. Now that I think about it.
Oh, like what? He tries to come across inviting, like he's just curious and not hunting for information.
I don't think Kubo would know the difference between if you're hunting for information or just being
No.
I'm trying to
curious.
think of an example on the fly here. Like there was a time when we went to this big fancy restaurant, but like the food was really nice, but the people were kind of not nice. But we paid our way in anyway, and Ikko said all their forks were bent. And we had to, and the knives too, and we had to go take them to get them reforged and adjusted at the smithy. But like the staff got were like, I don't know. I think they got mad, like thinking that we were saying like their stuff was bent or something, because there was like a whole bunch of them coming out from the back looking for her, and I just had them like in my pack. But anyway, she's wondering, she's kind of wondering like what's going on with you all, and like the rock and stuff. I don't really know much.
Me and Brielle have known each other for a very long time. Which I assume you both have as well.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it all my life.
How does that work?
I hatched and she was there.
A dragonborn was hatched with a kobold?
No, kobold.
I know she's a kobold, but you're
Yes.
a dragonborn.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Existential crises to come.
No, Kubo's a kobold.
Now you're just messing with me.
No,
I
no.
This is this is one of those elf jokes.
He is like dead serious,
Ikko, he thinks I'm
looking
a
very
dragonborn.
concerned.
I'm sorry, what did he just yell? It kind of cut out a little bit.
I said, hey, Ikko, he thinks I'm a dragonborn.
So she would definitely hear that, right?
He
Oh
yelled it
yes.
to
Oh
you.
yes.
Okay, yeah, she's like, oh, he's just a kidder. He's just messing with you. Yeah, you know you're a kobold.
I'd look at Ikko with a raised eyebrow.
She's
I
gonna just,
might
like,
not
hold
be
up
the
her-
smartest.
So Ikko's just gonna like hold up her finger to her lips, like in the shush motion to Brielle, like just go with it, just go with it.
I look
Neat.
very confused, but I don't say anything.
So like when he yells at Ikko, Korfel's gonna turn and look at Ikko. So when she makes that motion, he's gonna be like, the shit. Like they don't look anything alike.
I whispered
Like
her
3 of her could fit into one of
a
him.
kobold in a trench coat.
Yeah, thank you.
I
So-
whisper to Ikko,
Grandma's cooking did a lot for me.
what the fuck?
Okay, so we found him as an egg, and we raised him, and he just, he just thought he was a kobold growing up, and we just didn't have the heart to tell him that he wasn't.
How loudly are you saying this?
We're whispering
He's
to each
saying that
other.
pretty
What's
quietly.
what
to Brielle,
what's
yeah.
what's your passive perception, Kubo?
Poop.
And
Ikko, are you attempting to be quiet? I'm sure you don't want this to be like overheard.
Yeah,
by...
we're both whispering to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
they're further away. And
mean, we were walking
Korfel's
back.
yeah, I know you're walking back, but like Kubo kind of like intercepted you on the way back, and Brielle kept going, so you were intercepted, Korfel. So
Also, like, I'm really close to Ikko as I'm like helping her clean up camp. So I'm like I like lean close and whisper as that question is asked, because with the shush motion, I obviously want to keep it hush, but I want to
Yeah.
know why I have to keep it hush.
let's see. If you guys are gonna try to keep it quiet, he's got a passive of 10.
I have
need-
a +7 to stealth, so I can roll stealth if you need me to.
Yes, I need both of you to
I
roll
would
stealth
also
because
like to be like I'm right next to him, so my passive's 12.
yeah. So again,
So-
Brielle and Ikko have to roll stealth checks to be quiet.
26.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, my question is, since what I said wasn't really, I just said what the fuck. Her whisper is more important than my whisper of hiding it.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
you exclaiming what
I didn't exclaim.
need
I
it.
whispered, "What the fuck?" at 16.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so with their passives, they don't hear you guys. They don't hear you guys. So especially not Ikko. Ikko's used to probably talking quietly. And your WTF is like it's not heard by them either. So
I just nodded her response and like keep loading the cart so that we can get out of here and keep moving.
okay, you get the cart loaded up. Kubo, how do you react to all this? And I have a special question for Korfel after you answer there, Kubo.
what? There was a bird. Sorry, what?
So the last thing Ikko basically yelled was, no, he's just messing with you. You're definitely a kobold.
Yeah, it was a weird joke.
All right, so for
Kornfeld
Korfel,
tells jokes.
so for Korfel though, when Kubo mentioned that he hatched and he saw Ikko there, how does Korfel understand that? Does he understand that as Ikko was there when Kubo hatched because Ikko's his mom, or because she's a sibling, or just somebody who happened to be there? How does Korfel kind of understand that?
Korfel takes it like the kobolds fucking kidnapped a dragonborn egg, like, or found it. But like his logic says, this is clearly a dragonborn. I've seen many in my time.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly a kobold. Kobolds don't hatch dragonborns. That's not how it works. So either they stole an egg or they found it, but either way, they're not related. At least not.
I have a
Yeah.
whole idea
Blood.
for it, but like a collection of small details that could be construed as a story.
Okay. But yeah, you guys get your stuff gathered up. And you have probably about another day's travel, maybe a day and some change. Probably just another full day, thanks to having the mechanical goat. Before you reach Sorrderis. Is there anything that you guys would like to do in camp before you take back off?
I want to try and understand why Korfel thought this place was dangerous yesterday when nothing happened.
It was just a feeling.
That's just me being curious. But no, there's nothing I want to do besides load up the cart and get going.
Okay.
Ikko wants another Volan turnip kebab. So, like, I didn't say it earlier, but like my theory about why Ikko and Kubo liked the kebab so much is that they live and grow up in caves, so they're used to eating rodents.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
It's the taste of home. It's nostalgia.
Yeah, it was like, man, it tastes just like home.
Korfel will probably take the time to like ask like where they're from, what brought them to the port, etc., etc., etc. Like, just he's basically going through with like interrogation tactics, but posing it friendly.
So you're asking them questions.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
Which
that's
one
that's
after
interrogation, but being friendly. Interrogation is like not friendly.
You're having
no,
a
no,
So
no.
you're asking them
conversation.
No. Hold on. The
The
reason I said interrogation is because he's the questions he's posing would be what you expect in an interrogation. However, the way he's posing it is different.
Okay, so you're asking leading questions
Yes.
for a conversation.
So what's
Be-
the first question?
Why were you at the port?
Hold on, I have to remember.
Are you gonna say it like that? You're not gonna be like, so what brought you to Port Chester? Like a friendly.
I mean, that's
charismatic
how he
person?
would do it, but like, I wasn't role playing in that moment.
So Korfel's charismatic, but Austin isn't. Got it.
Actually, if you ever come to my stream, Druid IRL posed it best when I redeemed an insult card, and it says that I have the charisma of a. Oh shit! I forgot what it was. Where's my? Hold on.
Lame. Can't even.
It's
reference your own
hilarious.
Can't even
voice.
remember the compliment or
I know,
the
but it's so
insult.
funny.
Or the insult.
In the
there was no
meantime-
compliment. It was an insult. 100%.
Can we come up with a name for this goat? Like, I think he needs a name.
You should
George.
give the goat a name.
Like the Autoba
The Autobot.
or Mechba or something.
I love Autoba. That's pretty great.
Autoba.
I'm just calling it auto.
Bot.
I'm not calling it auto.
Autobot. Autobot.
Autobat.
Roll out.
Roll out, yeah. Transform. No,
Deceptigoat.
Deceptigoat.
it's not very deceptive though. Bottomus Prime.
Bottomless.
Bottomus.
Well, that sounds completely different.
Robo
Oh,
Ram.
Bottomus Prime and Megatop.
Ooh, Ramtron.
That's a whole different comic.
Oh wait. I found the sound. Okay, I got the sound alert. I've seen more charisma in a purple worm's asshole. That Beast of Bifrost, I've seen more charisma in a purple worm's asshole. That's the insult that I got from the deck of mini insults in Druid's channel. So yeah, no, Austin does not have the charisma.
Rocket.
Like, it's a whole sound alert. Like, she said it on her channel. I clipped it, stole the audio, and made it an alert on mine.
That's funny. So Korfel is asking leading questions, and pretty much like, why are you in port?
We were at sea for a while. We were doing a transport request, and we just got back.
Where'd y'all come from?
Like, where do we live?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, I think it was Uthelior, right? I think we said we came from the mountains in Uthelior.
Yeah, the mountains near Uthelior. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we live in some like caverns in Uthelior. So we had quite a ways to go back. So it was kind of interesting that we ran into you because now we're going in a very different direction.
Interesting.
Did you not know there's a whole kobold settlement up there?
I did not.
Oh, well, there is.
Is it a large settlement?
Yeah, I could take you there once we're done trying to figure out all of this stone business. If you would like to visit and meet our family.
They must miss you being so far from home.
Probably. I mean, you know, we're kind of, we wander about a lot, but yeah, it would be nice to be home again. But I'm very interested in this excursion that we're on. Like, we don't really venture very far from home often, so I'm actually kind of excited to be going somewhere new.
Why don't y'all travel far from home very often?
We can't really afford it. Like, we have to do what we gotta do to make ends meet and, you know, just kind of keep doing jobs. So, we mostly just go back and forth between home and Port Chester to do some excursions and transport business.
He like nods like he understands.
I think
So-
I'm also sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll just say I'm gonna eavesdropping and want to do like a insight check on her truthfulness while he's questioning, if possible.
Ikko, is anything that you're saying deceptive? Are
That
you
requires explanation, I think.
okay? So, you could say yes or no. You don't have to determine what. You could say
yes.
Okay.
Yes, she's definitely does transport business.
Okay. So I need you to make a deception check. But
Okay, that's fair.
you've told these stories before, so you have advantage.
Ooh. Okay.
I rolled a 17 for my insight, so you gotta beat it.
Do I need an insight as well since I'm the one questioning?
Well,
Plus.
yes. But you should let her roll first before you guys start rolling insight.
Oh,
Okay. 20 for deception.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm doing insert.
I'm
Dirty
assuming
20.
I can't give guidance.
Ah.
Too late.
Yeah,
Anyway.
not to that. So
Would have been obvious anyway.
with the 20, you've told this story before, Ikko. So it's like you're used to saying, "Hey, we're just in the transport business. We unload and offload things," and it's convincing enough.
So at this point, he's gonna kind of cross his arms and he's gonna take lean a little more into the intimidation. And can we trust you, both of you? to have our back on this journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm gonna defend you guys as much as I have to. I mean, you're part of my crew, right? I don't abandon my crew.
It's not just about making sure that we are protected and safe. It's also acting in the best interest of all involved. And he kind of looks a little more meaningfully at her. Like, I mean, he doesn't have any kind of proof, and he's inclined to believe her, but like based on how things went at port and hearing, like, she even told them about like the run-in with, the portmaster and stuff like that. So like,
Yeah.
That
so
asshole.
he's still suspicious. Like they don't know each other. They don't know anything. So he's suspicious and just trying to be a little bit intimidating. That it's important to make good choices.
The
So what was the
paladin,
direct
the
question?
paladin telling the rogue, it's like, you need to make good life choices. Yes.
It wasn't
So
really
you're
a
saying
question.
take
It
the
was more
chairs
like,
too.
do you understand that this is like you need to be also doing this? Like, I guess it's kind of a question. Like, do you understand like your actions are going to reflect on us as well, kind of thing? But like, he's trying. It's almost like he's trying to persuade her to just not be.
Okay, so a little
Sketchy.
bit of DM intervention here. So
Okay.
it sounds like what Korfel wants to do. Korfel believes Ikko and believes that she can be trusted. However, he has his own reserves because they don't know them. It's essentially two groups coming together. You guys don't know each other very well.
He has a pretty high moral code.
It feels, though, that the line of questioning that Korfel wants to go down is the best way to get the answer Korfel wants, because Korfel wants an answer, right?
Mhm.
Right.
The best way for Korfel to get the answer that he wants, and with him being as personable as he is a more direct question. A more direct question would be better than being like, well, I think that you should have a higher moral code. Can I trust you to do the right thing when the time comes? The question should be, if things get rough, are you going to be there or not? And it's just a more direct question. It's not meant to be rude. It's not meant to be a rude question or phrased in a rude way. And I don't think Korfel would, given his natural inclination towards more a charismatic discussion. But when you phrased earlier that you wanted it to be like an interrogation but friendly, I don't see why he wouldn't be direct.
That's fair. I'm bad at being direct, so
No. Listen. This is not a lesson on how Austin needs to be more direct. This is Jotun telling Austin that, based upon the information you've given me on Korfel and the way that you've described him wanting to interact in this instance, that he would be direct with his questioning and it wouldn't come off as rude. Is the way that I'm saying it. So if you're direct with your questions, it's on the understanding that it's not meant to be rude, unless you're like, hey, I'm going to be a D-bag here and say, you're either with us or against us. And then you shake her.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're doing.
No. I think you phrased it how my intent was.
I'm just trying to help. I just didn't want you guys to keep going in circles with it. Cause I'm like, well, I mean, I can help here. And maybe I should lean in a little bit.
And that's basically what he's asking is like, I mean, yes, are you going to be there when we need you? Can we trust you to do the right thing? But like, also like, if we leave you to your own devices, can I trust that you're not going to, bring the whole town down on us?
Okay, so her response would be, yes, I'm definitely gonna have your backs. Like I'm invested in this stone thing, like I'm actually kind of scared of it, and I'm kind of actually tempted to abandon this, but I've committed, and I want to support you both. I'm scared, if I'm honest, based on what I've seen about this stone, but we're definitely gonna stick with you, and I don't abandon party members. Like, I will back you up as much as I need to.
I appreciate that. And as for, can we trust you with the public? Can we?
Hold on, I need a DM. I need to message the DM.
Okay.
I need an adult.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
I need an adult here, adult.
So go ahead.
Bum bum bum. Welcome,
Whispers.
Raiders.
Whispers.
Yes, welcome, Raiders. Let me get you a shout out. Welcome, Game Grotto.
Is this Baldur's Gate music?
I don't know. Is it?
It
Sounded
sure
like
sounds
it a
like
little
it.
bit. It's been a while since I've played now. I've been avoiding my replays. I prefer Skyrim music.
There's also Valheim.
I haven't played that. I own it, but I haven't played it yet.
I want to play it. I just
Dude,
like I don't want to play it alone.
No,
is it
definitely
even
don't play it alone.
multiplayer?
Yeah.
Alright,
It's
I'll
kind
play
of
that
like
one with you.
Minecraft where you can just like have a bunch
Yep.
of people in there.
I'll play that one with you.
All right. So since I'm messaging Ikko back and forth, give me 1 second. I'll address my Raiders. Hi, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. We're playing some D&D tonight. Yes, we are. This is episode 3 of our campaign. What is to become? I need to get the VODs uploaded to the previous ones because I am very bad at uploading my VODs. However, welcome. I hope you guys had a fantastic stream. You played some retro games. That sounds some old text-based games. That's awesome. But feel free to stick around, or you can raid and run. Understandable, 100%. Let's see here.
Meanwhile, while he's going
Hold
back
on.
and forth, up until this point, so far we have encountered a fancy stone that whispers at us and clearly has
Gives us visions.
Visions and magic. Korfel and Brielle are old soldiers from a war. Ikko and Kubo are quote unquote.
Why
Kobolds.
did you let them introduce themselves?
Oh, fine.
Wait, what were you gonna say? "Quote unquote" what?
Yeah, quote unquote. What? Yeah.
Kobolds.
Go ahead. You started. Go ahead. Finish.
Well, I just was trying to eat up the like silence and awkward like wait in between. You know, like
You're
if you
fine.
watch Critical Role, Sam is always just like da 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 da
Off
da
and
da.
off, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Scanlan?
Yes.
Scanlan. And yeah, from Vox Machina. Otherwise,
Oh, God.
Fresh Cut Grass.
Yes.
Or what
You
was
know
the
one of the better D&D channels. Anyway,
no.
I was just trying to keep it entertaining. Okay.
I know. I got you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let me go based off of my DM's description of my players. We have Korfel and Brielle, who are veterans of a war from across the continents, and they finally returned home, and they're trying to reacquaint themselves with civilian life. They've done a little bit of mercenary work here and there, but they've finally just gotten the chance to chill and hang out with one another.
Korfel chills.
Well,
No.
as much as elves can chill together, I guess they just stand in a room and don't look as stoic. I don't know how that works. How does that work?
He's got the
Basically,
function of a
I
tree on
poke
top of his
her.
backside.
And she punches me. That's how things work.
And then we also have Ikko and Kubo, which in my world, I like to go off of canine like kobolds and not the reptilian ones. So Ikko is a canine kobold with a penchant for illicit deals with trade and trade like
Alternate shipping
substances. Alternate shipping methods. Yes, she's a smuggler. She's a smuggler.
Whoa. Just throwing words like that.
you
I
just
love
can't,
alternate shipping
Han.
methods. That's great.
you just can't call someone a smuggler. But Ikko is a smuggler alongside her adopted sibling, Kubo.
Yes.
Yeah, who is a dragonborn. He is a dragonborn wild magic sorcerer who's
Again with the jokes.
who is not aware that he is not, one, a kobold, and two, he's not sure what his magic does. They
Or
had
how it works.
or how it
or where
works.
comes
So
from.
or where it comes from. So it's all new to him. However, we've recently discovered that he has a penchant for being an iron chef, or at least a judge for Iron Chef.
He's the best cook of us all.
He is. He's the best cook out of all of them, but he's easily distracted and misses some very poignant social cues. But you know, he's got a heart of gold, probably. What color dragonborn are you?
Isn't it copper?
Sorry. What?
What color?
I asked
What
what color
color are
dragonborn
you?
you were.
Like a coppery,
He's rusty.
clay. Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a he doesn't have a heart of gold. He's got a heart of copper, but you know it comes with, you know,
It creaks.
yeah. But
It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
But yes, Korfel and Brielle, they're veterans of a war. Korfel himself is a paladin, and Brielle is a cleric of a god of order.
Vengeance.
Yeah,
We
he's
share the same deity.
they share the same deity, and they've served together side by side many times. But yeah, they're currently on a quest to determine what this mystical magical stone that they found, what its true intentions are, and what it really is. Because they're confused. No, they don't know. They've been having weird visions ever since they came into contact with it. So, yeah. So that's where we're at right now. They're currently venturing towards another city in hopes of finding this wizened lore master. But again, thank you so much, Game Grotto, for the raid, and thank you, Rika, earlier for the raid. I know it was an hour ago, but normally we do end at roughly around midnight Eastern Standard Time. However, if the players want to keep going just for a little bit longer since we had our raiders come in, would you want to do that, or do we want to try to adjourn?
You're the one on East Coast time. I'd say it's up to you, my guy.
I have to get up early. I have a meeting at 7.
Okay.
So
In like 6.5 hours?
yeah.
Oof.
Been
Yeah,
there,
we ran
done
a little
that.
late today.
Oof.
And we did start a little bit later. So what we'll do, I'll let the players. We'll pick up next time. I'll say we'll pick up next time with your journey, the second day of your journey towards Sorrderis, Korfel's home. And we'll see what the true random encounter was that Kubo rolled earlier with that one. That's
I was
gonna
wondering
be
about that.
that's gonna be
double one.
interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
It's not actually mechanical,
You and Ikko keep
magical,
rolling
is it?
double ones.
Shut
What-
up.
Is it something magical? Well, I mean, you don't know yet. We don't know. But
Wait, what?
Well, the
So the-
second one was just to determine what type of encounter we have. So
Yes.
the one doesn't necessarily mean it's
What rolls
bad.
are y'all talking about? There was rolls?
yeah,
When he
so
had us
I
roll
had you roll
D4s,
D4s to determine
and
who
then
was
he
going
rolled
to
a
determine
D4.
who was going to roll for a random encounter. and then
My bad.
Kubo rolled lowest.
I didn't know what that roll was for. I was just like, sure,
No.
whatever, and just
I just do what I'm told.
Kubo rolled lowest, so he was responsible for it. But
And rolled one.
Catger for 429, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, if you guys want to catch up on the live play VODs, I'll get those uploaded as soon as possible. You can follow the link there in chat, and then keep up with all of our live plays. We do this every other Thursday, which, speaking of, while I have the players here, does anything interfere with the
calendar?
The 21st, not the 21st, the 20th.
20th. Nope, not for me. It's my mom's
Oh,
birthday,
good.
but she's not here anymore, so.
Aw.
I'm sorry.
That was a little dark to say on a live stream.
Yeah, it was.
I swear.
Damn.
It was 20 years ago, it's fine. What? I'm fine. It was 20 years ago.
Okay.
Moving on.
Anyway, so the 20th looks good. I don't currently show anything for that day,
Okay.
Yeah,
especially not 8 o'clock at night.
Catan.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So we will resume this 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 20th. And every Friday we play Curse of Strahd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not the same group, but I'm sure that they wouldn't mind playing Curse of Strahd at some point if I decide to run it for the 8th time. Anyway, players, I want to thank you very much for tonight. I hope tonight was a decent session. I know it was a big talky
great.
session. It was a good talky session, but
It was fabulous.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
I especially liked the vole and turnip kebabs.
No, our cook-off was great. I really liked them.
If I'm
Yeah,
going to be
No, we didn't
completely
have any combat.
biased,
Like, this was a very fun session. I loved it.
if I'm going to be completely biased, my favorite part was Iron Chef Kubo. So
Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, that was fabulous.
pretty fun.
10 out of 10.
I was telling when I was originally making this character, I was like, I'm not making Kronk. I'm not making Kronk. And it's just
You've done it.
Kronk, aren't I?
You've done it.
You made
You've
Kronk
inadvertently
and-
made Dragon Kronk.
I mean, to
I
be
love
fair,
it.
the dice did it. The dice gave him the best cooking skills,
They did.
It did.
so it was meant to be.
It's that dragon palate of his. He's got a refined taste, just a natural refined
No, he's a
taste.
kobold. Shut up.
Oh yeah. He's got that refined kobold taste.
Palate. To be fair, Ikko also was up there with cooking.
I did
so.
get second place. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both in the 70s, so I guess people who live in tunnels have really refined taste.
Well, that's because all you can do
Yeah.
is season with dirt, and then anything else is up from there.
Oh, exactly. So why does that make them good at cooking?
Because they work with less. That's why. That's why Korfel won the Vol
Brielle.
cook-offs.
The two
Um,
elves.
I'm
who have been around.
amazing.
Very
Yeah,
much
okay.
so.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
We grab our
So
potatoes from the ceiling.
in order to not hold up my players any longer tonight, because one of them has to be up early, and I don't have to be up early, but I do have D&D tomorrow night. So
Mhm.
players, thank you all so much. We will get the VODs uploaded. I'm going to do that this
Thank you.
weekend. I am making a firm commitment to upload those
I was
this
gonna say, you
weekend.
said it like 4 times now.
He'll get there.
I'll
He's
believe it
busy.
when I see it. No, I'm kidding.
Rocks
believe.
fall. Rocks fall.
I know. Our cart got crushed. There
Yeah.
goes. What do we decide to
the-
call him?
Leg goatless or whatever.
Legolas.
Whatever we decided to call
Oh,
him.
that's what you and I decided. I don't think the
Yeah.
rest of the party
I
decided.
don't
on that
care.
yet.
It's a fucking goat.
The name
love
for the
it.
goat.
I'm just like Goaty McGoatface, but yeah.
Goto
Uh,
Baggins. Goto Boggins.
Aragoat. Romir. Whatever you decided to name the robotic goat.
I forget, but I'll find out in the VOD.
Yeah, we'll find out in the VOD. Yeah.
Borrow.
She'll
have to-
forget immediately the
Yeah.
second we leave.
All right.
All right. So, chat, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mute the Discord, so you won't be able to hear the players, and I won't be able to hear them, and then we'll go ahead and we'll read out. But thank you so much, players. I'm gonna mute you.
Play Warframe.
Oh, they're muted. But I do want to thank you guys again. Catger, thank you for the raid. Game Grotto, Catger, thank you for the follow. Game Grotto, thank you for the raid. And Rika, thank you for the raid. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for bringing your communities here. We normally do our D&D streams from like on the Thursday games from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. On our Curse of Strahd games on Fridays, usually from 7 to 11. So we go a little bit longer on those ones. Mainly because I'm on the East Coast and I'm old. I can't stay up for very long. So we do our best here. We do our best here. But thank you guys so much. I'm bad at goodbyes. So let's figure out who we're gonna raid into. And we'll keep this fun train going. I think we're gonna go ahead and raid into I know exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and raid into Shiori. She's playing Marvel Rivals, and I haven't gotten to raid into her in a while, so we're gonna go ahead and do that with a good old-fashioned Viking raid. Friends, if you don't have my emotes, use whatever emote you have. Just be polite, read the room, and as always, please be polite to the streamer we're about to drop in on. They might be in the middle of something and may not be able to respond to us right away. I'm sure they'll get to us if they can when they can. If you like the streamer's content, please give them a follow. If you really like their content, give them a subscribe. You're not required to do either, but do remember follow is free. All right, we're back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Curse of Strahd. So stay safe, eat well, stay hydrated. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.